When all is lost for you inside.
He knew it was his turn, didn't he?
When all the darkness takes the light. The ritual warning has begun. Now you tear away from everyone. Disconnected so alone. Severed ties from all you know.
Isolation!
Yeah, there you got it.
Honestly, I just thought you were holding a human skull, to be honest.
Well, what were you holding to start off with?
Well, a human skull.
Okay, well,
Where did you
not
get
a human.
that? Yeah, where did you get that from, George?
I don't know. Bought it for Dad one year, and it's just been like on the coffee table ever since.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Is there a reason you chose to deliver that like it was Hamlet?
Well, so that it would disguise the fact that it was an Alter Bridge
I
song.
see, okay. I don't know if you know the reference you were making there, because David Tennant played Hamlet famously.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
oh, so I was actually being very clever then.
You were, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
more clever than you realise.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay. So, yeah, how's isolation persisting?
Well, it's brought me to the end.
Of
Until you love again.
your patience, your will to live, your life? What?
No, I'm going to stop reading the lyrics now.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it just is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like this is what, the third week now?
Yeah, we're on
It's sort
to
of,
3.
the novelty of it is sort of gone now, I
But,
guess.
okay, obviously, I think
I'll
this
tell you what I
is...
do. I miss hot food. I didn't realise how much I'd miss hot food.
What do you mean?
Well, like, I mean, we have like hot meals like in dinner time and stuff, but like I miss when you could just go out and just like get a burger, or you could go out and just get like, you know, you can't
Right,
do that
okay.
anymore.
The thing is, George, when you do your weekly food shop, you could just get burgers for lunch.
I can't just be like in the kitchen cooking up like, you know, enchiladas or like a Chinese or something when my dad is just like over there. It's like, what are you doing?
Why
you know?
not?
I don't know, you might want some, and I don't portion it out for multiple people.
Well, you do. You just have it all yourself, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know about... This is obviously the worst week in terms of loss of life.
I assume that's like a delayed reaction because of people were going out a lot and then the lockdown kicked in.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a delayed reaction from when people were out
Yeah,
all
I
the
think
time.
this should... ideally sounds like a weird word to use, but ideally this will be the worst week.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
next week as well.
I would say,
but-
yeah, they reckon the peak's supposed to be Easter weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, doesn't it also feel like, even if it's stretching you to the ends of your patience to some degree and boredom setting in, then you also think that it doesn't even really seem like it's sort of like a passive calamity in a way. Obviously not to the people that it's really affecting, but to the rest of us who are just battening down the hatches, it just sort of feels like as an armchair resistance. Do you know what I mean?
In
like
a way, yeah. I mean, the only real effect I've noticed is, I think I've said before, like I wasn't going to work anyway because the building I worked at was affected by a flood like a couple of weeks before the coronavirus, so I was out of work anyway. So the only real difference is I can't really go out driving at the risk of being like pulled over and fined, and I can't go and get hot food. That's all I've really noticed. I did though yesterday. I went down to like the spa and I picked up some food and I went and sat by, there's like a river that runs near where my house is. So I sort of sat down by the river.
And pondered, did you? And
yeah, pretty much.
considered whether to hurl yourself in.
No, it wasn't that.
Okay.
But it was very nice. It was like, I don't know if you like ever have a moment like that, when there's like a moment or sort of like you're in a place and you're sort of there and you think, oh, this would be like a shot in a film.
Yeah.
I was sort of sitting next to the river, and because along that riverbank there are a lot of like businesses and stuff, including like car dealerships that have like all these like oil reserves and stuff from like when they work on the cars. So the river is still like black, but it has like shimmers of color through it from where the oil is still like circling through the river. So I was just like staring out across this riverbank with all these like destroyed trees and just rubbish lining the shoreline.
And you thought, how beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's we do, we're in the South Wales valleys. We do exist notionally in an area of natural beauty, but all of the natural beauty is just infected with industry. Just all the rivers are shit and slime.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe the music I was listening to helped. But yeah, I was sitting there thinking like, oh yeah, this would be a shot in a film.
Just you against the backdrop of shit.
Yeah, but it didn't look like shit, you know?
Okay.
It looked quite nice, actually, because there wasn't a cloud in the sky as well. So it was like this sort of brilliant blue sky and just this black river and just the contrast, because usually they share a color.
Well, almost, yeah.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
So the fact that the river and the sky were contrasting, and you had these like shimmers of color as these ducks were like,
Dying.
Yeah.
in the poison vapor of the water. I mean,
Yeah.
it's nice that you could find aesthetic beauty in that, but that feels bleak to me. Yeah, well. Eddie, what about you? How are you finding solitude?
I'm getting a little bored.
Okay.
I mean, my PlayStation has arrived.
And now you're getting bored.
Yeah.
It's much earlier than
So yeah,
expected,
that's arrived.
yeah.
But then obviously I forgot how long it takes to set up a PlayStation. You have to install games rather than just pop a disc in and it works.
Yeah.
So there was all of that. My dad sent me a puzzle.
A jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he had so he did the same for my sister as he did for me in that he customized. So he chose a picture and had it put on a puzzle.
All right.
And then sent us.
How much of a dick was he in the picture he chose?
So the picture he chose was, so me and him went to the Isle of Wight last year.
Right.
And the place we were staying in had a hot tub. So
Okay.
he took a picture of me in the hot tub while we were there. And that's what he put on the puzzle, which for the outer area is fine. But the water, which takes up about half the picture, is all blue.
Right.
And it literally got to the point where I was like trying every piece to fit one spot.
That's a shot in a film, isn't it? Just someone doing a jigsaw puzzle of themselves.
Well, I was going to say, I can't decide whether that's utter vanity or existential masochism. It's like slowly putting yourself together, like half-formed image of yourself.
There's moments like, yeah, I know everything I need to know about that character. Him doing a jigsaw puzzle of himself.
But that's the thing, I don't, because I can't decide whether that person is self-obsessed. Well, I suppose they're self-obsessed either way, but like whether they're narcissistic or self-loathing, I couldn't tell you.
I don't know. I feel like self-loathing is a bit of a leap.
I
see your logic to it.
Yeah.
So I do feel like it's a bit of a leap.
I don't know.
So yeah, if they're sat there like me in a hot tub, putting that in picture, going, oh yeah, that's me in a hot tub.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not just a picture of you. It's you in a hot, like a symbol
In
of
a
like
hot tub,
luxuriousness.
I'm in a hot tub, leaning back, going, this is the life.
But especially considering the circumstances in which that puzzle is being completed, surely it's just kind of a flaccid maneuver. If like you just finish this image of yourself and then like, yep, well, I can't show it to anyone.
Remember when I could go in hot tubs?
It's like I'm still on my own, just looking at this picture of myself.
Yeah.
All you can do, I suppose, is take a picture and then put it online, but that is sheer vanity, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I finished it, took a picture, put it in the family WhatsApp group, and then told my dad not to send me another one.
Okay. Thanks, but fuck off. Yeah.
It took me 4 days.
Okay.
Like, I was having to stop so that I didn't throw it.
I thought you said I had to stop because I thought I was going to throw up.
No.
What's the virtue of a jigsaw puzzle? What does it offer?
Well,
It passes
activity.
the time.
Yeah, but is it? Do you find it therapeutic at all?
I mean, there is something about when you do finish it, there is something of I've done something.
Okay.
Because, it obviously it was a challenge purely for the fact that most of it was the same fucking colour.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I mean, it's not something I would do very often. And I think, to be honest, he sent it to me because he was doing one for my sister because she does do puzzles.
Okay.
So I think it was like, oh, I'll send Ed one too then. I was like, you could have just sent me a game for the Xbox. I'd have probably been a bit happier.
I mean, yeah, like if you do find it therapeutic, like colouring in or something, fair enough. It feels like Sudoku to me, which there's no skill really. There might be a skill on how quickly you can do it, but Sudoku as long as you know the rules, it requires no skill, does it? It's just trial and error until all the boxes are filled.
I don't know. I would say it's more like Lego, where you you're doing this activity, and then at the end of it, you have a thing.
Okay, that's fair enough, but it's not an
like
achievement,
puzzle,
is it?
Like you finish the puzzle, and you have like a picture, or you finish the Lego, and then you have like a model that you can just have in your house.
Yeah, you're obviously talking about Lego, where it's prescribed what you're supposed to build.
Yeah,
not
but you can build
Lego.
models out of. You can do it freeform, but yeah, you can just buy a kit.
Yeah, sure.
Most of the stuff I have in my house is a kit.
I really wish I had Lego right now.
Really?
Yeah, I really.
Guys, we're in our 20s.
So?
I've run out of room for Lego. I genuinely can't buy any more Lego because my room is just full of Lego kit that I've built.
Well,
most of them were from when I was a kid, granted. But,
okay, freeform I get. I suppose I just mean it's not completing a jigsaw puzzle or Sudoku or Lego. It's not an achievement of skill, is it? It's an achievement of time. you've done a thing over some time and now you finished it.
Yes.
Because, a jigsaw puzzle, if you're not at all skilled at doing them, you just try every piece until one fits, don't you? You know what I mean?
I did.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So it's more like, I overcame tedium. Like, I beat you. I beat...
Yeah.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
Why are you determined to take the magic out of everything?
Do jigsaw puzzles have magic?
Well,
Is there magic in
they
jigsaw
certainly
puzzles?
have less magic now. You're like, oh, it's just an exercise in tedium.
No, it's an exercise in beating tedium, isn't it?
Don't try to put a positive spin on it. It's still you're still diminishing what it is.
I'm not trying to put a positive spin on it. I'm saying if you find it therapeutic, fair enough. I'm just saying it's not a skillful endeavor. It doesn't require skill, is all I'm saying.
Okay. Does that make it lesser?
I'm not denuding the practice of any substance. I'm just saying that saying you're a good jigsaw player is saying like you're good at being alive.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone refer to themselves as a jigsaw player.
A jigsaw player. Okay. If you're a good jigsaw participant, a jigsaw puzzler, then to me that's just like saying you're good at breathing.
Right.
You've done it, you continue to do it, and it's there, and you're there.
Somewhere in the world, you've just offended a massive group of like people that don't.
Oh, the
ever
jigsaw
leave their
community
rooms.
will never listen to us again.
All the jigsaw
we've lost
diehard
that group.
are too old to know how to work a computer, so they're not listening to us.
Hey, their grandsons might have hooked them up with the podcast. You never know.
Oi, Grandad! This wanker's slagging off jigsaw puzzles.
They were talking about fucking Doctor Who a moment ago. This took me completely by surprise.
I thought we were safe.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be a jigsaw slander-free podcast. Okay.
Dear.
Yeah, I mean, my life just continues on as it has been, basically.
Yeah.
But
I need to duck out a sec. I'll be back as soon as I can, okay? I'm only going to be a couple of minutes.
All right.
Are we carrying on or?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We might as well just wait now, innit?
Yeah. It'll annoy me for about a week, and then once it gets after that week, I'll just get used to it being longer. So like, I can't decide whether I'm just going to keep the beard or not, because usually is again like I let it grow so far and then I get rid of it.
Yeah, I would just grow the beard for as long as you're growing the hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I might have to make an electric shave on my next purchase.
Yeah, I'm gonna shave my head today, I think.
Mm.
Yeah, it's too long for my liking.
I don't know when he disappeared, but
it certainly was more than a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like we've been talking for a good 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So
say something disparaging about him.
George, you're a fat cunt.
Okay. Jesus, you just I can't top that. There's nowhere I can go. You went right to the core there, yeah. What can I say that will be worse? George, you're a fucking you dweeb. Like, what can I say? You're a fat cunt. I don't think. Yeah, that was very economic. I can't like. In terms of the pith of insult, you hit the nail right on the head there. There's nothing... You can't trim that. You can't do anything with it. You're a fat cunt. Yeah. Subject. Indefinite article. Adjective. Noun. It's just kind of... That's it, you know? In a nutshell.
Oh, he's gonna love hearing this back, isn't he? Oh dear. I would love to know what he's disappeared off to do.
Someone better be dead. I'll tell you that now. Let's guess. Let's have 3 guesses each as to what he's been called away to do.
Honestly, I'm gonna say he's gone to sort out that gate.
Yeah, he's gone to hold something while his father does a thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a 2-man job, sort of, yeah. Yeah, gate related. Oh, that said, that was that Thursday?
Yeah.
So, maybe not gate related. What else would it be?
Someone's clogged the toilet.
So calling Jordan to deal with it.
Because it was Jordan an hour ago.
Okay, alright.
Oh, fuck me, I'm just being mean to him.
He is going to hear this, you know. This isn't dead time. This is.
I am just being a prick.
Codified.
The fat cunt and suggested he's blocked the toilet.
Again, I feel like if that's what tips it over the edge, like, oh mate, I'm okay with you calling me a fat cunt, but saying that I blocked the toilet, nah, that's over the line.
He should be used to it by now. I'm a dick to him half the time.
Yeah. Have you ever called him a fat cunt?
Not to his face.
No, to his face. Okay.
Actually, no, I don't think I have at all.
Do you reckon this is all just an elaborate ruse so that he can listen to what we say when he's not around?
Maybe.
Why are we waiting? Why are we waiting? Oh, why are we waiting? Oh, why? Join me, Eddie. Why are we waiting? Why are we waiting? Oh, 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 why? That was less harmony, more like an echo.
Yeah. Should we just do it without him?
I'm genuinely tempted.
Because we literally got through introductions where we didn't even introduce ourselves.
Oh yeah. Oh well.
Fuck it. They know who we are at this point.
Yeah.
Our avid listeners, those three, they know us at this point.
Yes. I would hope so.
There you go, the gang's all back together.
What was that?
Sorry about that.
What the fuck were you doing?
How long was I gone?
Half an hour?
Over half hour.
No.
Yeah, it was.
Oh shit. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, I was gone longer than I thought I would be. Sorry about that.
What were you doing?
You know that gate that Dad wanted me to build?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did it without me. But he needed the frame like fitted to the wall outside.
Right.
So yeah, sorry about that.
Well, we were giving you 5 more minutes, and then we were going to persist.
Oh, you haven't carried on with the podcast?
No.
Oh shit. Oh, okay. All right then.
We can just move on to the next thing now then.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you for waiting. I do apologize.
I accept your apology. You're going to hear some horrible stuff.
That's fine.
In the edit, though, just so you know. Eddie,
yes.
You wanted to talk about football.
Yes,
football.
which I know is not something we usually do on this podcast.
No.
Because needless to say, neither you two have any interest in football.
Needless to say.
Yeah. So basically, it was put to the Premier League footballer, which is the footballers, which is like the top league in the UK. That
I know that.
Okay, look, I don't know how basic I've got to go.
We're not completely brain dead, Eddie. We know as much football as it's feasible to know just by existing. You know.
Yes. But basically, it was put to them that they should take a 30% pay cut,
right,
in order to help the country financially. Certainly, the football clubs financially, because some of the smaller teams in the big league, they're not worth the same amount of money as your Manchester United, your Liverpools, and all that.
Yeah.
And basically, the PFA, which is the football association,
the pissing football association.
I genuinely can't remember the first word.
Pissing football association. You got to. It's not.
Yeah. You
got to put the emphasis, otherwise it just sounds like
pissing football association. Yeah. They basically turned around and said that players taking a pay cut would actually be more detrimental to the NHS because the amount that they get taxed per year would then have to decrease. And so players shouldn't take a pay cut. And
that was a hell of a spin.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, I'm pretty
there are certainly
sure
some footballers.
Because there are thresholds, aren't there? There are like specific thresholds that if you pass this threshold, you get taxed 20% or 30% or 40%, right? That's how taxing works.
Okay. Could well be the case.
I don't know.
Okay.
But I think it's just a fixed percentage.
Right. Yeah, they were basically arguing the toss that this was something.
Well, yeah, it must be that way because if it's not that way, then their argument doesn't work because it doesn't matter how much money you're earning, you always get taxed the same amount.
No percentage, right? So you'd be paying more if you earned more, but the percentage would be the same across the board.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It'd still be 20%, but just 20% of 100 grand a week is a little bit more than $1,000 a week.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so they were making this argument, and certain footballers certainly came out in objections, suggesting that their backs were against the wall. They didn't quite understand why football was suddenly being this focus on it. I genuinely I was reading through this and I was like, a lot of these players are on 100 grand a week minimum.
Yeah.
And they don't think they should take a pay cut for sitting on their ass.
Yeah. Okay.
For
here's
3 months.
my thing. I've seen, I mean, this was happening before the football thing happened, but certainly since coronavirus, I've seen a lot of posts on social media of people saying stuff like, we should just get rid of billionaires. There should be no such thing as billionaires. If you earn, like, if you get to a point where you're earning $1 billion or you've earned $1 billion, then it was something condescending like, oh, congratulations, you've won capitalism, then give all the money back to the people, or something like that. I'm not of that thinking at all. I think, like, if you want, yes, there are people who earn more money than maybe they should, and yes, there are people who actively exploit the system in order to get money. That does happen. That's one of the flaws of capitalism. It is a system that can be exploited. But I'm not one of these people who's like, oh, everyone should only earn X amount of money. I think that's one of the great things about living in a capitalist society is that you could potentially earn all the money in the world. You know, you shouldn't be. If the maximum you could ever hope to earn is like £1 million or £1 billion, and then all of your money just goes back to the government, what's the point? You know, there's no motivation for people. So yeah, I'm not one of these people who's like, oh, you know, the rich should lose all their money and oh, what are they doing with their money and all that sort of stuff. But footballers do earn an absurd amount of money. Yeah. And I do think it's a little, the fact that they're not doing anything, they're not even putting in like a token, you know, oh, okay, we'll donate a couple of million or whatever to the NHS to show that we're on their side in the fact that they're just outright saying, oh no, we shouldn't give money, we shouldn't take pay cuts. I think that's a bit shitty of them. Yeah, because clubs like Barcelona and all that in Spain, they've taken a 70% pay cut. Okay. And then in Italy, they were in the midst of agreeing a sort of 33% pay cut. But Juventus, which is obviously the top team in Italy, they've frozen wages for 4 months because all the players... that's very nice. That's very generous. I'm not saying... I don't think we should be saying that, like, oh, this should be the standard. All footballers should do this. No. I think that's unfair. What I don't like, and I think what a lot of people probably don't like, is the fact that they're not entertaining the idea of freezing wages or giving money or anything like that. Yeah, like, as you know, as much as I like football, at the end of the day, it is 22 people kicking a bag of air between some fucking sticks. Right? Has anyone ever explained why footballers earn so much money? If they have...
Well, I mean, it's just the market, isn't it? I mean, like, so, you know, on a economic level, yeah, I think capitalism is basically sound. But yeah, personally, yes, I think footballers earn way too much money, especially considering that it's totally unappealing to me. Yeah. So the idea of these people being paid that, like, just gross amount of money is... ridiculous, especially when it's kind of it's a skill set that comes with no kind of framework of any kind, in the sense of they're good at this one thing. You don't have to be an ethical or any type of person to be good at, you know what I mean? It doesn't come with anything. There's no content to it other than this one skill. Yeah, at the risk of sounding slightly reductive, anyone can play football. Well, yeah. There is a skill to it at the highest levels, definitely. And there are players, like if I were to get into a match with like David Beckham, I wouldn't score a single goal. So there is definitely a skill. Just go for a shin straight away, and then you'll absolutely bang him in after that. But also, hypothetically, you don't need to be born with like a certain... No, I don't agree with that. I think there's obviously a hierarchy of skill. I think, like, professional footballers are incredibly skilled at what they do. Yeah, but it's not an industry that, like, you don't need... It's not like medical school where you need a certain amount of training before you can even begin to ascend the ladder. Like, you can just buy a football and start from there. You know? No. There's natural ability is always a slice of the pie, isn't it? You and I could never be professional football players. No. Like, even if, like, from youth, if we were trained, it was never going to happen for us. Do you know what I mean? Okay. There's obviously natural ability along with training and everything. I'm not disputing the skill set. I'm just saying it's a skill set that's kind of empty because it comes with nothing. I mean, there are plenty of jobs like that, but let's go with actors, the other obscenely paid demographic. And I think that is you could argue that comes with certain... It's a courier for other qualities like empathy. You know, I'm sure actors are a lot of actors are just narcissistic monsters, but it comes with something. Whereas being a great footballer is bereft of any import whatsoever. Oh, you're good at football? Okay, that means you're good at football. You know what I mean? There's no transferable skill. Yeah, is that what you're saying? Okay. No, not transferable skill. Just there's also there's nothing else. Like there is... I can infer from that they're physically fit. Yeah. That's it. I get nothing else from you if I know you're a football player.
Right, okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well, yeah, it doesn't demand anything else of you.
No,
does it?
exactly.
Like
yeah.
you said, with acting, it demands that you have a certain degree of empathy, that you sort of understand people so that you can sort of understand the character that you're inhabiting.
Yeah.
And it also demands... I'm not saying football doesn't demand discipline.
No,
it
no.
absolutely does, in terms of like training and stuff. But like acting, it's very demanding of you and your, you know... Like with football, they own your image.
Mm-hmm.
With actors, they own your image and they sort of own your mind as well. They're basically saying like, okay, for the next 3 weeks or 3 months, you're this person.
Yeah.
You sort of live and embody this person, and you sort of are the catalyst of this other entity.
But
you know,
it's all these things at the highest levels demand tenacity and commitment. You know, like you don't. It's not like the film Being There, like a Chauncey Gardner thing. Like, you can't get to the top of a ladder by luck. Like, I'm sure that has happened to some people.
Yeah.
But most of these things require... Like, overnight success is a myth, right? No one gets successful overnight.
Oh,
it's because they've been working unseen for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's completely demonstrative in the outcome, right? So, like, with actors, they abuse, and people in Hollywood abused their power. And now we're at a point where hopefully that's nigh on impossible.
Yeah.
Are you saying that in the wake of Weinstein or in the wake of coronavirus?
No, in the wake of Me Too and Weinstein.
Right, okay. Because coronavirus has helped a little bit. I think a lot of people are just buying their bullshit a lot less now.
I don't think there's much of an overlap though in terms of abuse of, status.
No, but like after seeing like Sam Smith crying in his mansion, and after seeing that video and stuff like that, when they go back into the public eye and they start like preaching their gospel or whatever.
Yeah.
I think there are going to be more people now who are just going to be like, but I just
Yeah, I would say that's less a deconstruction of power, and that's more just an understanding of vacuity. It's an understanding of their place. Like, actors aren't all that. Why should I listen to them?
Okay.
You know what I mean? But with footballers, I mean, it's totally demonstrative in that there's a streak throughout football in particular of these young men just completely, rape. And just like... No, genuinely, there's a massive trend of this in football and completely disgusting behaviour.
Wait, are they raping each other or are they raping...
No, raping young girls, right?
Okay.
And raping women because, it's young men, young testosteronal men that are good at one thing that requires nothing else of them, and they now have fuckloads of money. Like, in a way, it's like when Justin Bieber was behaving like an arsehole. It's like, well, what do you expect?
Yeah. It's slightly different with Justin Bieber. I mean, footballers typically start from a young age, though, don't they?
Yeah.
But I was going to say that Justin Bieber was a child.
Yeah, that's why I highlighted him in particular.
Yeah, he was thrust into stardom before he'd even hit puberty.
Yeah.
Before he'd even developed as a human being. Like, how it's the dilemma of any child actor. How do you expect them to cope with that level of exposure and that level of wealth and influence when they don't even know who they are as a person?
Well, yeah,
yes.
I mean,
they haven't even reached that point in their life.
Macaulay Culkin, for the example.
Yeah, his sort of like, he's doing better now, but his kind of like, he flew off the rails. It's like, well, yeah,
but that's like you can count on like one hand the number of child actors who seem fully functional as adults.
Yeah.
Whether they are or not, but there's that kind of air of, oh man, like you were trapped in amber, like, you know what I mean? Like you aged, but there's an essence of you that can't get out of that. It's like a Dorian Gray thing, it's Yeah, I don't know. It's horrible. Anyway, I don't like football. I don't like footballers. Simple as, really.
Yeah, and
that's all I wanted to highlight. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I do. I know. I agree with you. I don't disagree with you. I agree with you that it is a bit shitty of them to say like, oh, we're not going to dock wages. In fact, we shouldn't be docking wages because media spin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But despite the fact that I hate this idea of like, oh, if you're rich, then you don't deserve that money. I think that's utter bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But in this instance, I think a lot of people are right to criticize. What was it? The PFA?
The PFA, yeah.
The PFA, yeah. I think they're right to criticize them, and they should do something. Even if it's just like, don't dock their wages, but just like donate a sizable amount to the NHS.
Yeah. But again, it's just like the division between your personal and your political beliefs, isn't it? It's like Twitter. I'm sure we would all agree that as a private company, it has the right to do anything it wants in terms of its users. Like if they want to shadow ban people, and they have the right to do that. It's not like it's a violation of free speech. They're a private company. They can do whatever the hell they want. But whether you think they should be doing that, it's the divide between your personal and political.
Yeah.
So yes,
that's
I'm
the
all
tricky
for
thing, isn't it? Because there is definitely a line where you should be banning people. Like if people are, far right spouting like the most heinous thing you can imagine, then there is no value or virtue to them.
Oh no. Like platform. I don't want to argue the vagaries of what should be better. I'm just drawing a comparison between your political and your personal beliefs. So like we will say that footballers, if they can earn that, that's what the market is, then that's what the market is.
Yeah.
But personally, we can think that it's just an obscene, grotesque amount of money.
Yeah.
For something that we don't respect. So, yeah. All right, should we move on then?
Okay.
Eddie, what else did you have on your...
The next thing I've got down is Quibi, or Quibi.
Oh, yeah.
The new online streaming service via mobile.
Oh, is this like another TikTok?
No. Yeah, so basically it's a mobile app, and they've produced original content. I think they divided it into 3 categories.
Yeah.
One of them is like movies and chapters. So it's still unclear to me exactly what it is, whether it's seasons. But at the moment, it looks like it's essentially a film that's been divided into chapters for quick consumption. All of the episodes are like 10 minutes long.
Yeah, if that.
If that,
and it's 10 minutes or less.
It's designed, it's designed for you to watch on like a lunch break.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I'm starting to see why you might have brought this up, Eddie. But continue.
Yeah. No. It's just so they launched a couple of days ago. Yesterday. No, yesterday they launched with a bundle of new movies and chapters, and then another category is like reality shows and I can't remember and documentaries, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if you don't have the app on your mobile, it is impossible to watch it. You can't watch it on your laptop or anything like that. You can't watch it on a television screen. It is designed specifically for mobile viewing, filmed vertically and horizontally. So, when you change your phone to portrait or landscape, it accommodates that.
Do the dimensions of the image change, or does it just like flip it and crop it?
Well, I think it's designed. I'm not sure. I haven't watched any of this stuff, but I think it might kind of like sort of like a 3D film indicate to you when you're supposed to flip the phone.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. That's a complete guesswork.
I was going to say, if it's like dynamic, like at any time you could just watch it portrait or switch to landscape and the image doesn't crop, it literally changes the dimensions of the image. Like, that's impressive.
That might well be the case. Some have been credited with employing it better than others. Like some, I guess, are just, it's like any video on your phone where, it just fills the frame basically. But I think some have been accommodating the form artistically.
Right. Okay.
But again, I haven't seen it and I can't. I don't even know if we can watch it in the UK. I don't think we can.
Okay.
You can get the app.
Have they soft launched it? So it's not.
So this is the thing. So certainly in America, you have the $4.99 version, and then you have the $7.99 version. And the $7.99 version, obviously this is a month now. The $7.99 version is ad free. The $4.99 version is not. I think we've got access to the $4.99 version over here, not the ad-free
Right,
version.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, all of certainly their movies and chapters, none have been particularly favourably reviewed.
No, there's 2 that have got slight praise.
Yeah, but we're talking like in the 70s, right?
I can't imagine the quality of the content. I mean, surely we're looking at like YouTube Red quality programming. This isn't like Netflix quality programming they're putting on this app.
Well, it's designed to be.
Yeah, I know it's designed to be a Netflix rival, but if you're watching it on your phone, like, what's the point in putting in this of creating this like cinematically like rich programming? Because it's all just going to get lost in translation, surely.
I don't know. I mean, I guess the idea is that a lot of people
and also it's an app
things on their phone anyway.
It's going onto your mobile. Physically the data it's not going to be as powerful as Netflix, in terms of streaming. I would have thought. I don't know.
I guess as the power of mobile technology increases, I think increasingly people are going to be watching stuff on their phones anyway.
Yeah.
Like that's obviously they're trying to get their foot in the door early on, aren't they?
Yeah. Yes.
But I don't know. I just obviously there's being kind of a neo-Luddite in the sense, as I've talked about before, this idea of I think video games should just be discs and all that sort of stuff. But this just seems like how low must we sink? the idea of a truncated attention span. Don't cater to that. You're supposed to be expanding it,
Yeah, that's the infuriating thing of it. Like I said, I like the idea of it can be viewed vertically or horizontally. I think that's a cool idea. But
exactly. But purely this whole like a novel gimmick thing.
You can't watch a film in its entirety, I assume. You said it's just chapters of...
Yeah,
I don't like that.
No,
If you're making films which are only 10 minutes long, then fine. But when you're splitting films up into like different segments, then no. Like, I don't have the best attention span in the world, don't get me wrong, but splitting a film up into 10, like, say it's 10 chapters of 10 minutes, and they release them like one a week or something, because I don't imagine it's going to be all out, rolled out in one go.
Well, that's a TV show, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what's still unclear to me. I don't know whether it is a TV show that they are calling movies and chapters, or whether it's a feature film that they are just arbitrarily segmenting, like a DVD menu. I don't know. I think they are designed as, this is episode 1, this is episode 2. They're not just like, right, that's enough. I think they are like structured that way.
You'd have to be. If you're splitting it up, if you're splitting up a thing, and you know it's going to be split up, you have to accommodate for that in the script.
Yeah.
So it is basically going to be like a film, but like every 10 minutes, it's going to be like, oh, but what's going to happen next? Oh, but it's going to be a TV show in that respect.
Yeah. But this, it's not like YouTube Red, even where YouTube Red, I would say it's Cobra Kai, right? And then everything else.
Right.
Cobra Kai is like a notch above.
Okay.
But I mean, like they, as far as YouTube Red goes, they haven't really attracted major stars. Like the Karate Kid alums are the closest you get to like A-listers on YouTube Red.
Yeah. It seems to be like mostly YouTubers that are doing like, trying to do traditional TV shows.
Yes, but Quibi or Quibi, however you pronounce it. Like, they've attracted some big names. Like, they've got... Is it Liam Hemsworth?
He's not on the list of the ones I've got on here.
He's in Most Dangerous Game, I think.
Okay.
It's got Liam Hemsworth, Christoph Waltz, Anna Kendrick, Will Forte.
You've got Idris Elba. Sophie Turner's got a thing where she's the lead in it. Spielberg's involved.
Yeah.
Of course he is.
And then, like, Chrissy Teigen and Jennifer Lopez and that. Chance the Rapper, I don't know if either of you know.
Yeah.
I know him
but
by name.
he's got a show called... Punked, which is basically a revival of the MTV prank show.
Oh, right. they're going all in on this then. This isn't just this is here if you want it. It's like, oh no, we are in the market now.
Yeah.
Right.
The one thing that I have seen as a criticism is, unless you have a membership, you can't like share anything with people. So like one of the like things I saw was someone who had been watching shows on it and they wanted to share it, like just go, you should watch this or whatever, and there wasn't a function to like share it or anything.
I mean, that's something that might get at. This is the problem though, when you're reviewing something that has no physical form, like Quibi, or like, in terms of like video games, if you're reviewing a video game that's only sold digitally, the review that you give at like the day it comes out could be completely invalid within like 2 weeks, because they can just add features and they can patch in fixes and stuff like that. So whatever we're saying about Quibi now, like the fact that there has no share function, like in a week's time, that could be completely irrelevant.
Oh yeah.
And that's one of the things I don't like about it as well, is that it doesn't matter if you make mistakes anymore, because you can just fix it.
Yeah. Well,
if we upload one of these podcasts to YouTube and there's a spelling mistake in the chapters or whatever, like we can't fix that. If we want to fix that, we have to take the video down and we have to put a new one up. Like, you have to make sure you get it right first time, I don't know if I have. This isn't me, like, preemptively,
well, I was
if I made any mistakes, like, I knew about it.
No, I was thinking, are we holding up a pretense here? Because we have done exactly that.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. It was, a little behind the scenes, there was an instance where we did upload a video and there was a spelling error. So we had to take it down and put a new one up.
Yeah.
But that's my point, is that you have to be careful. Like, you have to make sure that you get it right. I don't like the idea of living in a world where you put something out there that's bad or it's wrong or there's like fundamental flaws, and then within a week you're like, oh, it's fine now. Well,
no, I mean, critiquing the format and the form in which it's presented is one thing, because that is subject to change. I mean, the content is the content, right? Like, the shows aren't going to change. The shows are the shows. Like, that is codified.
There's nothing stopping them. Like, there's nothing stopping them just sort of swapping out a cut of, like, one of the episodes.
They're not going to do that, though.
I'm not saying they will, but there's nothing stopping them technologically.
No, I mean, so in terms of if you want to review what's on there, I think it's fair to review their programming.
Okay.
Because, I don't think even in an age now where it's possible, I don't think they'd have the gall to do that,
Yeah.
Because, yes, there would be zero integrity in doing that. But I don't know, I just think, again, it's sort of a perfect accompaniment to the football conversation, really, in terms of personal and your political beliefs. Like, if this is going to make them a lot of money and the market now is people watching things on their phone, they're catering to that, that's fair enough, and I completely see the merits of doing that.
Yeah.
But personally, I think you have a responsibility as a content producer not to be catering to the whims and furthering the eternal abbreviation of the attention span, of the collective attention span. I think you need to be a caretaker of that.
Yeah.
And you have a responsibility to make sure that it's preserved, you know? I don't want the world of entertainment just becoming 5-minute things like I can watch on my phone.
No.
And I just worry about this kind of infinite regression.
Yeah, then again, I didn't want the world to become like most of the video games I buy don't have physical copies anymore. But that seems to be more and more the case.
Yeah, but are you happy with that though?
No, I'm not. And I'm even less happy when I buy the game and then a year or two later they bring out a physical version of it.
Right.
Because I'm fucked then. It's like, well, I can't re-buy the fucking game, but now I'm stuck with a digital copy. Say one day PlayStation just decide, and this has happened, where they've just decided like, oh, we're going to take that off the market store. Or we're going to try and scrub every version of this game from existence. Like, that game that I've poured hundreds of hours into is just gone now.
Right.
It's the same with multiplayer. We saw like a rise in multiplayer-only games a couple of years ago, where there is no single player experience. The only way you can play the game is if you play online multiplayer. And when the servers are shut down after the game has stopped making money, that disc or that digital copy or whatever is completely useless to you.
Well, wasn't it?
There's no software for you to engage with anymore.
So wasn't it a version of they did a version of Call of Duty which was only online?
I think Black Ops 4.
Yeah, it was only online, and then
Yeah.
the next game straight away back in with a campaign because people are like, well, where's the campaign?
Yeah, exactly. Not only was it a campaign, it was World War II. They started going back to their roots because they were like, oh shit, that didn't work. Let's just be like, nostalgia, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe this is an exhortation to just abandon gaming altogether, Jord.
Well, I'm not going to do that, Sam.
Oh, you know, the option's there, isn't it?
No.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, as far as Quibi or Quibi goes, I keep abreast of everything that I can in the televisual landscape.
Yeah.
But this is the first time, because like everyone's got a streaming service now, right? NBC, they're all jumping into the pool on this one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the fact that we've got another fucking streaming service that we have to keep track of now.
But this is the thing, as much as I'm a completist and I like to keep track of everything, genuinely, it's an ethical commitment that I made. Like, you know what? I'm not going to do it. Even if this was available to watch on the laptop, I'm just not doing it. I refuse to watch any of this stuff.
Yeah.
So no, as far as I'm concerned, if it's only available to watch on your mobile, it's not TV.
Yeah.
It's not a film. It's not cinema. It's not television. It's just
okay.
It's nothing. It's fluff. It was it that Matthew McConaughey thing. It's fairy dust. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our review.
Stay away
Quibi.
from. If you care about cinema and television, stay away from this app.
Yeah. Well, yeah, my like sort of final thing is obviously like, so in the last week, the National Theatre have been putting shows on YouTube. And so I watched One Man, Two Governors starring James Corden. I really enjoyed the fact that I had a chance to watch it because I haven't been to the theatre in quite a while now. So for me, that was like, this is really... Now that it's over 2 hours. And the idea of people then reducing their attention spans down to 10 minutes... But there is so much content out there which is not just 10 minutes, that is better content. I'm not saying the content on this is bad.
Yeah.
But sites like YouTube and Quibi or Quibi, you know, they're aiming for shorter videos because that's what does better and stuff like that. But they're doing better because that's all we're pumping the bloody country with.
Well, the thing is,
you know,
it just feels like it's taking a kind of a concept too far in the sense that when Netflix got into television, the big change was obviously... It's not going to be on conventional channels. That's the first thing. And they're going to block release all of their episodes, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's new. I don't know if I like that. But you adjust to that. You pace yourself and that's what that is. This just feels like it just rings totally of gimmick.
Yeah.
Ooh, cool. You can watch it on your phone.
Yeah.
But only your phone.
Yeah, it's like it's not taking it anywhere. It's just reducing it, you know?
Well, hopefully,
on principle,
gimmick never really lasts in the technology world. Gimmicks never stick around. So hopefully they'll either have to adapt and be like, okay, we'll make it more like a conventional streaming service as well. But you know, it's still made for phones, but you can watch it on the laptop or But yeah, I mean, ultimately, I'm not going to download the app, but ultimately, I hope that it doesn't worsen people's attention spans too much, and it doesn't discourage people from engaging in traditional content or long form content like. Two Man, Two something?
One Man, Two Governors.
Yeah, that. Governors. Or like The Irishman on Netflix, which is like a perfect counter to Quibi, where it's like a 3.5 hour film. You know?
Yeah, that is too long.
It is too long.
That is too long, but you know, it's still something people can watch, you know?
This is part of it, right? So like my big gripe with mobile phones has always been, and this was like when I was 15 or something, this was occurring to me. It feels like the mobile phone, it's what you do in transit between A and B. You need to get from A to B, right? To keep you occupied in the interim, you have the phone. But then the phone started to become A and B. It was always just the phone.
Yeah.
And it's like you're always in transit somewhere. You're always moving. You're never stopping, right? And that's the whole thing about like people are never really alone with their thoughts anymore. So now that people are at home a lot, and that's a more likely occurrence, people are just like, I'm going stir crazy. I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. I can't, like, I'm not okay with my own company, right?
Yeah.
And it's the thing of you're always moving. And how much reward can you derive from a 10-minute chunk of a thing? That's not, it's just, it's nothing, right? It's just, you're moving from one place to another. They are, it's on the face of it. They're wearing it on their sleeve. They're saying, this is designed that if you just got a spare 10 minutes, you can watch that. Just let's stop for a second. It's okay to just stop and absorb a thing. But it feels like everything's just encouraging movement. And it's just, you're going to burn out. It's got to burn out at some point.
Well, it's interesting that this app has come around at a time in which the world has stopped moving for a moment.
Yeah, that is very...
They couldn't have timed it better.
Well, yeah, maybe that was their evil plan all along. Was we'll
infect the country and make them all stay.
No. It's just like, oh shit, there's this virus that's causing everyone to stay indoors. Let's like integrate ourselves into their lives now. So when everyone starts going on the move again, we're just like a part of people's lives.
No, I mean, I think obviously like the release was planned like way back in advance. But yeah, it does seem a weird kind of fortuitous, event on their behalf, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of attention spans, Eddie, you wanted to talk about reading.
I did. And I prefaced
Shall I duck out again? Do I have any place in this conversation?
Yeah. I would talk about reading purely because I read a play. It wasn't necessarily a long play. I think it was like 40 pages or something. But it's the first time I've read something in quite a while.
Yeah.
And I came across as really smarmy. Well, I came across, I suppose pompous is probably the better word.
Yeah.
Talking to my sister and my dad. Because I was talking about reading a play rather than reading a book. And they were like, oh, you read plays, you don't read books. But I was trying to explain to them, the reason why I find it easier reading plays, I don't need as much attention span to read a play. If I read a 40-page play, even if it's really creative and it's really well done, I don't need a massive attention span.
Well, I was going to say, surely it's more haughty and like, ooh, to read a book.
Yeah, but this thing, I own more plays than I do books.
Yeah.
And every time I try and sit there and read a book, I don't get into it. I don't, I won't finish it.
Right.
Or it'll take me like a really long time. Whereas if I sit down and I read a play, I can read it sort of quite quickly.
What was the play?
It's a play, it's called Swallow, which is by Steph Smith.
Oh, kinky.
What?
Kinky, I said.
Oh.
Well, that was that bad. Go on, Eddie.
But yeah, it was a play that I so happened to pick up when I was at the National Theatre bookstore. Didn't know anything about it, and I thought it was quite, I did think it was quite a good play. It's interesting, because I say, it's only 40 pages. I still think you probably get about an hour's worth of a show out of that, at least.
Right.
But the reason it's interesting is it doesn't have stage directions.
Okay.
And it literally says, interpret as you wish, as like on the first thing. And so, again, as I say, I find it, quite creative, like reading stuff, because it makes me think about like the stage and what you could do with that space.
Mm-hmm.
And, as I was reading this, I was going, oh, how would I stage this? And then the more details you're finding out about the story, you're going, oh, okay, well, I can't just have these three characters, one stood there, one stood there, one stood there, because they've got to interact at one point, and then suddenly they're interacting. And so it was quite interesting, because I was like, oh, I would actually have to think about it.
Yeah,
it kind of has a practical
interesting.
effect.
Mm.
Yeah, it's sort of, because the point, I was going to make a point about, like, when Sam said that, like, surely it's more like, to read a book. It would be harder to read a book, because, like, plays have a structure. They have a form to them.
Mm.
You have, like, scene description that's sort of outlining the boundaries of the scene, and then you've got, like, this character speaks, then this character speaks. But whereas a book, it's just, like, this dense wall of text.
Yes.
It still has a form.
No, but my point is, like, with a book you're doing all of the legwork, whereas with the play it's sort of like it's giving you like a skeleton to sort of play around in, Do you disagree?
I don't disagree. I just don't know what you mean exactly. Expound.
Well, no, that's why I found it interesting that Swallow has no stage description or scene direction or whatever. It's closer to a book in that respect because it's not telling you, okay, here's the basic outline of where we are and what's happening. It's sort of saying to you, like, oh no, you have to bring something to this, you know? And that's what books seem to demand of you from the start, is like, okay, we'll give you like a story, but you're doing a lot of the work as well. You kind of have to meet us halfway here.
I think you're doing a lot of the work in the sense of you've got to fill in the blanks. I mean, the rule with writing, isn't it, is show, don't tell.
Yeah.
So there's an element of you're having to visualize what the book is describing.
Yeah.
Yes.
But, I mean, books they're giving everything to you, right? In terms of if there's an ambiguity or that you have to infer your own interpretation, or that's a separate thing. But I mean, a play, this obviously is just dialogue, right? So it has that practical application of how are you visualizing this?
Yeah.
Because it's completely barren in terms of description. Whereas a book it's just description, right?
Yeah. Well, on the first page, there is a line which says Sammy Davis Jr. And it literally says in the notes beforehand that because the cast can be played by sort of any race, it literally says change the line as appropriate if needed.
So like Frank Sinatra.
So so you could change so that you're referencing a different person in history that you're vaguely suggesting that this character will look like.
Right.
So it's even allowing you slight interpretation with the text.
Yeah, those are interesting. I've read a few like that don't kind of directly specify everything that should be done, and then I've read examples where it's too far the other way, where it's the diameter of the set and how many seconds there should be between utterances and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Right. And that's too prescriptive, you know, like a happy medium.
And I used to write too prescriptive. I probably do arguably write sometimes not prescriptive enough now.
Right.
But I used to write, rather than just writing he smokes or something, I would write such and such goes into their pocket, takes out a packet of cigarettes, opens it up, takes out a cigarette, closes it up, puts it back in pocket, lights cigarette.
Like micro beats.
Yeah.
Like literally, yeah. But I mean, I used to overwrite in the sense of, not in that sense, but kind of write the action and then write what that meant. Like in terms of, in like the universe of the story and that sort
Daniel
of thing.
walked into the room. This means he ponders life.
basically. Anyway, so reading. I recently sort of got back into reading, dipped my toes back in the water. Because, I read a lot as a child and then stopped as kind of film and TV took over. I've always wanted to get back to it. And I read a book on a recommendation called Stoner, which is one of the best books I've ever read. And that was, it's going to sound pretentious, of course it is, but because I hadn't read anything, a novel for so long, and because of how well written it was genuinely like that thing in American Beauty of sometimes there's so much beauty in the world, I don't know if I can take it, you know?
Right.
It was like a sensory overload of, oh my god, this is so good. It was like too much to take almost, and it's the only time I've ever read a book and it's made me sob. I got to the end of that book and I just sobbed.
Right.
And books have never had that effect on me. They've had entertainment value. I've recognised literary quality, but it's never produced that kind of emotional effect.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe that's what happens as, reading as you get older, I guess.
Or maybe it's just because you jumped back in at because Stoner is very well regarded, right?
Yeah, kind of like a hidden gem, like it's often referred to as the best book you've never heard of.
Right, okay. So maybe it was just that you were fortunate enough to jump in at like a higher level.
Oh, absolutely.
So the combination of the book being as good as it is, plus the fact that you're sort of rediscovering something that you genuinely enjoyed, that's what created that kind of sensory overload.
Yeah, I was
just like two great things colliding.
Yeah, it's that thing of seeing your favourite film. It just happened to be the right moment for it, And Stoner probably genuinely, like I said, I haven't read much in a long time, but probably is my favourite book on balance.
Okay.
And it was just the right time, it happened to be a great book, so I was very lucky in that regard.
Yeah.
But Jord, you ever gonna read a book?
No, it's a thumbs down on reading, I'm afraid.
Thumbs down on reading, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. And finally, before we dive into Doctor Who, what the fuck's it called?
Tiger King.
Yeah, so Eddie and I watched
Right. Okay.
Eddie and I watched the first episode of Tiger King.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you wanna riff, Eddie?
So the reason I kind of wanted to talk about Tiger King is It is the #1 show on Netflix in both the UK and America.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't know why. It's not the best thing ever made.
Do we have another Bird Box on our hands where it's just something that's like inexplicably, for some reason, it's just captured people's imagination?
Well, no, because this is well reviewed as well. Bird Box wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, this is well reviewed. This was recommended to me by, like, I think it was like 6 or 7 people. As like, oh, you should watch this, we're watching this.
Well, let's face it, part of it is that everyone is now at home watching Netflix, right?
Yes.
And so, had another show come along, it would have had the same fanfare. But I mean, my theory as to why it's so popular, okay, so there's this idea, because everyone has Netflix and everyone watches Netflix, that it's news when something leaves Netflix, or when Friends was going to leave Netflix, or when something else is going to come onto it's news, right? Because that's all there is now. There is no other channel.
Yeah.
And people think that every great show is on Netflix. And are just completely oblivious to everything else. And so that's why, like, our generation all of a sudden started watching documentaries, but only Netflix documentaries.
Yes.
And it's like, you do know documentaries pre-existed Netflix, and they were available to watch. I think Tiger King is capturing people's imagination because they are being exposed to something unusual, and their palette for the unusual is very elementary.
Yes.
These are people who haven't seen weird shit before.
Is Tiger King weird then? Is that the appeal?
Yeah, I mean, he's a kooky, weird character.
Yeah, Joe Exotic is a complete and utter bonkers Donny.
Yeah, he's got 2 husbands or 2 boyfriends or whatever it is. He keeps tigers. He's a very odd-looking individual. He's got like a mullet, and
Yeah.
he tried to have a woman killed, right? All of which is said in the first episode.
Right, okay.
It's like, I got the gist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got the gist. The thing is, I am, I dive into those YouTube black holes. I watch heinous shit online. I've seen weird fucking shit.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so this is just like tame. It's just nothing.
Oh, yeah.
He's an oddball.
A lot of people
do.
do, I think, though. I don't think it's valid to say... in some instances, it's valid to say that this is a case of people who aren't really exposed to weird shit being exposed to weird shit that isn't that weird.
Yeah.
But because they've never really been exposed to it before, they're like, it's sort of amplified.
Yeah.
But, like, the YouTube black hole is not like it's not a niche thing. I think a lot of people fall
Oh,
into it.
no. I'm not saying that people haven't fallen into that rabbit hole themselves. I'm just saying that there are rabbit holes and then there are rabbit holes, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, just in the grand scheme of things, this doesn't seem that out there. He's an oddball, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, why? I think that another reason it's captured the imagination so much is that he's very visually distinctive, isn't he? He's kind of instantly iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've seen pictures of him, so I know what he looks like.
People have already like cosplayed as him, like, fancy dress.
Of course.
Rob Lowe has done it, I think.
All right.
I think that's it. He just lends himself to being a meme.
Yeah, Jared Leto did a watching
fucking Jared
party
Leto.
or stream or whatever it was, and he dressed up
Right.
as Joe Exotic.
Okay.
How does the show treat Joe Exotic? Does it treat him like he's this like weird kooky individual? Does it treat him like he's normal and so the show itself feels weird? Try and explain to me.
No, they specifically explain the fact that he was absolutely bonkers.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like oh, look at this weird man. I mean, that's the thing. It's not like groundbreaking in documentary terms. It's just a pretty standard documentary,
Okay.
It doesn't mess with the form or anything. It's just like, here's this odd guy, here's this odd story. I mean, he's in it. They interview him. He's a big part of it. It's not like from a distance.
Yeah.
It's just a pretty objective, these are the facts
Well, yeah,
sort
I
of
mean,
thing.
so with Tiger King, when it started out, when the film crew like started coming, at that point he hadn't tried to have Carol Baskin killed.
Right.
They were just coming to film him to see what the hell that situation was.
Yeah.
So all this footage they've got of him from like 5 years ago and everything like that is all because they were going to do a documentary like this. It just so happens that as they were filming, he tried to have someone killed, and that made a better story.
It's kind of like, is it Making a Murderer? Yeah, where things change like in the midst of production.
Yeah.
Yeah, that feels... Yeah.
Yeah. So I might watch all of it just because it's a cultural behemoth. You know what I mean? I was like, well, I better be fluent in it if I'm going to completely disregard it.
Well,
You know?
if you want to finish television, Sam, you got to watch all the television.
Yeah.
Well, he's got
That's
to
very
wait because apparently there's an extra episode dropping on Netflix like next week or something.
Ooh, tantalizing.
I know they've held an episode back from us.
Nah, I don't. I've seen the first one. I got the gist. I don't recommend it.
No.
If I continue, it will be begrudgingly.
Yes.
Right, okay.
But yeah, I guess I'll feed back if I bother to continue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's fair enough.
Okay. know, if Doctor Who is going to become well, obviously now it's a fixture for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
We should have a jingle or something, shouldn't we?
I was thinking that. I was wondering if I should change the background on YouTube or something.
Should we all just do a terrible version of the theme tune to use as a jingle? It doesn't have to be. We don't have to record it or anything and then use it. Just literally every time we'll do it.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you get us running, George, with the like and then Eddie and I will come in with the theremin or whatever the fuck it is. All right, ready? So now we're going to talk about Doctor Who.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, so we're now on series 4.
Yes.
We'll do what we did last time, go through it episode by episode. Let's just dive in, shall we?
Yep.
Okay, so we're starting, I believe, with Voyage of the Damned.
Yes.
That we are, yes. Which is the Christmas special
Yes,
betwixt series 3 and 4,
as is often the case.
as is often the case. Do you want to give a quick little plot summary? Because we didn't really do that.
Yeah, of all the everything we said about those episodes, and we didn't explain a single one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Just the brief little premise.
Yeah, Voyage of the Damned. There's a replica of the Titanic that is out in outer space that collides with the Doctor's TARDIS, and the Doctor goes on board the Titanic and finds out that there is something amiss. I know that could be basically the plot of every Doctor Who episode. The Doctor goes to a place and something is amiss.
Something's amiss.
But yeah, like, it is very typical in the sense that he meets members of the crew, there's an alien threat, and he has to save the day.
Yeah.
You know?
I really wish they wouldn't do the Christmas specials.
Oh, why?
I don't like them. You know, it's not as kind of jarring a departure as the last Christmas special. It's pretty tonally consistent, I guess, with the rest of the show.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They're just a bit. I don't know. I don't like them.
I mean, part of the appeal of those Christmas specials is the fact that you've just finished Christmas dinner, you've opened your presents, you sit down Christmas afternoon with the family.
And you take a shit.
And while watching Doctor Who. Yeah, so the episodes definitely lose a bit of their luster when you're just kind of watching them whenever the fuck, you know?
Right.
When you're just sitting down watching them on Christmas Day, you do get wrapped up in it a little more.
As it were.
Not much more. The episode is still, the quality of the episode doesn't change.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you don't like Voyage of the Damned.
I don't dislike it.
Interesting tidbit. This is actually, in terms of ratings, in terms of audience viewership, this is the highest rated episode.
In terms of how many people watched it?
Yeah, I think like 13.4 million people watched it, which is higher than any other episode of Doctor Who.
Yeah, this was at its peak, wasn't it?
Yeah. Also, Kylie Minogue probably helped.
Yeah.
Kylie Minogue, yeah. Yeah, she's fine in it, you know?
Yeah.
She's not good, she's not bad, she's just there.
Yeah.
Okay, so first point. Obviously, the big cliffhanger at the end of Series 3 is he collides with the Titanic.
Yeah.
And he picks up a life ring and it says HMS Titanic on it.
Yeah.
Why does a spacecraft have a boy?
Oh, you noticed that, huh?
Yeah, I noticed that.
Well, it's so...
Why the fuck does it have a...
It's so David Tennant can see it's the...
Okay, all right. Yeah,
it's
it is
legitimately
just for
basically the only reason.
I don't know. Is the idea that it's supposed to be a replica, and so they replicate literally everything, whether it's needed or not?
I get. Also, you know, if he you'd have to, when he crashed into it, it'd have to be at such an angle that the ring kind of just juts into the TARDIS, because surely it would just float. It's space. What was it on? What was the life ring on the outside of the craft?
Okay, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Anyway.
I thought you were going to complain about the fact that the exterior of the TARDIS is so much smaller than the Titanic.
There's also
the
that.
entire front of the Titanic shouldn't be in the TARDIS.
Yeah, no, there is also that.
That's always bothered me. But I think that is typical, it's Doctor Who, don't think about it.
Yes.
It is very Doctor Who, don't think about it.
Yeah.
It felt like kind of a greatest hits of the relics of British sitcoms. It's got Geoffrey Palmer from, what's that? He's in the sitcom he did with Judi Dench.
I don't know what you're referring to.
The captain of the ship, basically.
Yeah.
And Clive Swift from Keeping Up Appearances.
Yeah.
Yes, I like him.
I quite like the Alien Apocrypha. So this idea that we worshipped Santa and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, his Clive Swift's little segment about people go to war with the turkeys every year and they eat the people of Turkey, and that's fun.
And they box.
Yeah.
I quite like that stuff. I quite like the odd job halos.
Yeah.
That the
Oh, yeah.
that the angels, whatever they are, have.
Yeah.
But yeah, just overall, I just wish they wouldn't do these Christmas specials. Because this one, it's like sometimes in Doctor Who, right? The sci-fi dimensions are very rudimentary, right? So you've got like, it reminds me of when we were in university, we had to dramaturg Macbeth and we had to recontextualize it. And at the time, the Scottish referendum was happening. So we literally just said, oh, Macbeth is about Scottish politics. So just the actors were in suits and there was like a Scottish flag in the background, right? That was it.
Okay.
And this felt a bit like that. Like, right, it's the Titanic, but it's in space.
Right.
The most basic thing you could do. So, do you know what I mean? Just melding kind of these two things.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't like that. When the Doctor walks away from all the explosions, that's very cringeworthy.
Yeah.
How did you feel about his speech? It was like, I'm the Doctor, I'm a Time Lord. It's like it's exploding in the
I
background.
can't even remember that.
Oh, okay. So I was going to say that's, I think, the quintessential David Tennant, I'm the Doctor speech. Like, whenever there's, like, compilations of David Tennant, that's always in there.
Oh, yeah. And it's front on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah. I'm not into all that stuff.
Right.
As I said before, whenever he gets serious, I get a bit
Okay.
snarksome about it. That's kind of it, really. I don't have much else to say about Voyage of the Damned.
Yeah, it does feel like it's sort of completely irrelevant, isn't it, in the grand scheme of things?
Yeah.
It's a nice little pit stop, but it doesn't add anything. It's never called back to, I
Yeah.
don't think.
No.
Oh, no, maybe.
Very,
No, it is,
very
actually,
briefly.
yeah, sorry.
I don't know about past the series, but in the finale, it's very, very loosely alluded to.
But it's one of those things where it's not, if that episode never existed, it's not as if Doctor Who would be hobbled without it.
Yeah, no. So as with Series 3, I've offered alternative titles
Oh, okay.
to all the episodes. So my 2 for this one are Bannaffakalamity.
Yeah,
that's one.
don't bother with the other one. I don't think we need it.
Now, that is definitely the one I'd choose, but the other one is, obviously, because it's the Titanic, My Hearts Will Go On is my other suggestion.
Okay, all right.
I was thinking so, because, right, not only has he got 2 hearts, also there is like it kind of repeats the story of the film Titanic, doesn't it, in a sense of would-be lovers that then, she dies. And,
Did you notice her name?
What was her name?
Astrid Peth. Take out the P, it's an anagram of the TARDIS.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Astrid is an anagram of TARDIS.
Is that deliberate?
Yes.
Okay.
Just to make you hate it more.
Okay. Well, Peth is also thing in Welsh, so there's another little bit tidbit for you. Astrid thing. So that is a thumb sideways.
Okay.
That episode.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, partners in crime.
Yeah.
The return of Donna Noble.
Yes. So I've got here the first shot of the season is Catherine Tate. Here we fucking go. So I'll just kind of sum up her the entire season, I guess. It was difficult.
Oh, okay.
She was difficult. There are moments where I hated her, and then moments where I put up with her. I never liked her.
Okay.
Catherine Tate is I found it very difficult, very unwatchable.
Right. Okay.
Because she does the same fucking type of delete. Whenever she's angry, she does that same thing. That face and that voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, just do something else. And she's not a good actor. She's not. Even when it gets emotional, she's sobbing. It's like, you're just doing the Catherine Tate face.
Right.
I can't.
But she is Catherine Tate. That's her face,
But I don't. I guess I don't like Catherine Tate then.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Well, how did you feel about her, like, what Donna was? Like, her relationship to the Doctor? Because you've had Rose, who was the love interest. You've had Martha, who was the rebound. And now you've got Catherine Tate, where it's sort of like...
Platonic.
Platonic, yes. They are literally just friends.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think much of it. Like, the very fact that the season ends with her memory being erased. Like, I don't know if that is... if they go back on that decision. But that kind of felt weirdly appropriate. Of like, you're going to be ultimately forgettable. And... now, just none of that ever happened as far as you're concerned.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like her as a companion. This is the only season she's a companion in, right?
Yes, yeah.
Whew. Okay, good.
Yeah, I do like Donna. I think Catherine Tate's
Oh,
performance...
what? You don't like Donna?
Let me finish.
All right.
Let me finish. I think as I'm getting older, her performance is becoming less palatable.
Yes.
As I'm getting older, I'm sort of growing distant from the appropriate age that performance appeals to.
Yeah.
But I do really like the idea of Donna as a character. I think she's a decent...
What idea exactly?
Well, that her and the Doctor are purely platonic, and there is no tension of that kind between them.
Right.
And also, she's kind of... I know, like, other companions have done this as well, and that's sort of, like, the fundamental point of a companion is the Doctor saves the day, and he does all of, like, the sciencey technical stuff, but the companions are sort of the ones who look after the people who are being saved. But, like, Donna, she kind of, like, notices things that the Doctor doesn't, and she's sort of, like, she's not just extraneous, she's like an active participant in the saving of the day, you know?
Right. Well, we'll get to all that a little bit later, actually.
And also the fact that she's come from nothing. She's literally like nothing. She doesn't even have a full-time job.
Right.
And yet she becomes this like very capable, very important person. I think that's quite nice.
Okay.
She's alright.
I don't like her.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
She's alright. She annoys me sometimes more than others.
Okay.
But yeah, so Partners in Crime, Sarah Lancashire. She could do so much better than this.
Right.
I'm so upset that she was in this episode. I mean, that's all I can say about that. Really.
Better than what? What is she?
Doctor Who.
Right, okay. No, because you can have a good person in Doctor Who does a good thing. Like is
who?
it the character that betrayed her? Not betrayed her, that let her
No,
down?
I just think she could do better. I just think Sarah Lancashire could do better.
Okay.
The Adipose.
Yes.
What?
I like them. I don't care. I like them. The little bits.
Yeah, they're nice.
The little bits
nice
are fat and they're cute. I don't care.
Yeah, it's nice when Doctor Who does. I did the opposite thing then. Usually people call the Doctor Who, but I call the show the Doctor. I completely messed up there. Yeah, it's nice when Doctor Who does has villains that aren't evil. They're not even villains. They're just kind of, like they're monsters that are just like the Adipose. They're completely harmless.
Yeah, I suppose I like that element, but at the same time, they're just kind of silly, aren't they?
Yes, because they're cute bits of fat, Sam.
Yeah,
but it feels like minions. You know what I mean? Like they just exist to be cute.
Maybe.
They're on this. Like
I don't know. I don't know if the idea is that you're supposed to want the Adipose to succeed, but you don't want Sarah Lancashire to succeed.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to be a bit conflicted on like, oh, do we want to stop the Adipose?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not their fault, is it?
Well, I've got no hatred for the Adipose. I just think they're inconsequential. You know.
Okay.
It's referred to as parthenogenesis. I don't think that's accurate. That's not an accurate term.
Okay. What would be?
Well, I don't. Well, birth, because they've been inseminated. So it's not parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis is virgin birth. That's what that means. Asexual reproduction.
No sex happened to get.
No sex happens, but they are inseminated. They are placed inside.
Are they?
Yeah.
That's not how I
I can't remember how.
No, the pills convert.
Yeah,
to
the
fat,
pills.
Right?
Yeah. So that is the insemination. It's in the pill.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not literally insemination because it's not semen, but yeah. Yeah, Tate isn't as annoying as she could be in this episode.
Yeah, I thought that she was going to be, from what I remembered, she was very similar to how she is in The Runaway Bride.
Yeah.
And a whole season of that would have just been exhausting.
Yeah.
But they do tone her down a little bit.
Up until the moment that she's miming through the glass. And then I hated her again.
Right, okay.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I like that moment.
No,
that's a nice moment.
Oh, no, come
it's
on.
annoying.
No, it's not.
No, it's fucking annoying.
It's not.
It is.
No, it's funny and it's a
It
nice...
is. You've got a nostalgic connection to this stuff. So you're bound to find it,
It's
charming.
a nice scene though, like doing the reintroduction of that character silently through that.
No.
Well, it's nice that she doesn't say a word. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
because then
don't you like that?
she's reduced to her face. There's a wide shot of the Doctor alone in the TARDIS.
Yes.
I don't know why I found that funny. There's something really funny about like his lone. I don't know. I just found that funny.
Wide shots are funny though.
They are.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah, these episodes like this always feel a bit twee and cutesy.
What do you mean by episodes like this?
Well, with villains like the Adipose and the companion introduction episodes, I guess.
How dare you call Jadoon twee?
I just did. I'm calling it Jadoon twee.
No, they're not twee.
And then my last note on this episode is, oh, it's Rose, like I give a fuck.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I don't like Rose, so her
Okay.
presence meant nothing to me. This is also a thumb sideways, though, because it was alright. It was okay. I didn't dislike it. I've got two alternate titles. Immaculate Conception or...
What?
Immaculate Conception.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
Or my favourite one, dwellulites. That's what I would have called the adipose. Dwellulites.
Dwellulites.
Like cellulite.
Yeah.
Fat.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So dwellulites. Yes, that's that one. The Fires of Pompeii.
Okay. We didn't give a synopsis for that one.
We didn't.
At all.
All right, let's do it for the Fires of Pompeii then.
Okay.
I would say you can sum it up with a line of dialogue.
Go on.
They're in Pompeii and it's volcano day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sort of-
Yeah.
Doom,
to be
doom,
fair.
doom, 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 doom.
That's literally all you need.
Yeah.
Okay. So when they're walking through Rome, and she's kind of querying, aren't they going to notice how we dress and that sort of thing? And he says, oh, it's ancient Rome, anything goes. I don't think I believe him, for one. I think the way they're dressed would draw attention. And B, do they ever go anywhere where it's not just brushed off as, oh, it's London, anything goes. Oh, it's all weird here. Is it ever like, what the fuck? What are you wearing? That material doesn't exist yet.
No, clothing-wise, no, that's never an issue.
Okay, that's a bit annoying.
Yeah. As we get to later seasons, there are other things that are like,
Okay.
quote-unquote, problematic, but yeah.
As in race.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Peter Capaldi.
Yes.
This show really has no fucking shame, does it?
What do you mean?
They're just gonna reuse that actor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna give a spoiler, but
Okay, is it a plot point?
It's a plot point when he's the Doctor.
So he's modelled after him, is he?
Yes. It takes them a couple of episodes to get to it, but they do sort of try to explain.
Okay, is that a function of it's the thinking the wrong way around?
Yeah, absolutely,
okay, all right,
yeah. Because they've never done it before.
Okay.
So they are trying to sort of shove into the law like an excuse as to why they can reuse Peter Capaldi.
Do they ever explain why they reuse Freema Agyeman? Do they ever?
Oh yeah, we
explain
never
that?
brought that up.
Yes, they're cousins.
But is that explained in the show?
Yes,
or did I miss
it's
that?
explained in Smith and Jones that she had a cousin at Canary Wharf.
Okay, fair enough. Well, not fair enough, but fair
I
enough.
wonder why they went for cousin and not twin sister. Surely
Twin
that's the obvious
sister.
one. You know?
Yeah, because I guess then that she'd have to be in the show because her family's in the show, so she can't have like a
Well,
twin
no, the
sister.
twin sister's dead. She died in Doomsday. Or Army of Ghosts or whatever.
Well, that's why then, isn't it? Because if a twin sister had died, that'd have a more of an emotional impact on.
Yeah.
You couldn't just like get on with it, right? That'd have to be a big thing in the family.
Well, no, give a bit of. There's a bit of distance between Army of Ghosts and Smith and Jones.
Yeah, but still.
Like Doomsday happens in 2006. 2007. This happens a year later.
Okay. Still though, like because her family are quite a big feature of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so as with Sarah Lancashire in the last episode, Phil Davis, no.
Which one's Phil Davis? Just remind me.
He plays like the evil, the toothy guy that's trying to let the things ascend from. Yeah, very good actor. Again, okay, it's not so much like you can do better than Doctor Who because but it's more just like I suppose if you were gonna be in that show, use them for something better than the things they were used for.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think this kind of marks the beginning of the caliber of supporting actors starting to go up in Doctor Who.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like in previous seasons, it was a case of people who were not as famous when they did the show, but now they're kind of famous.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think Peter Kay was probably like a big draw for the show back in series 2.
Yeah.
Whereas now you've got like Peter Capaldi, who's obviously, he's had a career before Doctor Who.
I would say before John Sim was in it, had Life on Mars come out by that point?
It had, yeah.
So yeah, that would have been a draw
Yes.
in terms of name.
Okay, yeah, so that would. But then again, he's playing a major character, so you would make an effort to get a decent actor in that role.
Yeah.
In terms of like supporting actors, it's like, oh, Peter Kay, that's a big deal. Whereas now
I'll tell
you're
you
getting.
what, to jump forward a little bit on that point, I thought it's a bit odd that Davros isn't played by a big name.
Because the big name they wanted didn't do it.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
What big name did they want?
They wanted Ben Kingsley.
Ah, okay.
Okay, that would have.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We'll get to it, but I feel like Julian Bleach does a pretty good job as Davros.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's just like I'd never heard of Julian Bleach.
No, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so the Fires of Pompeii is fairly disposable as an episode.
Okay.
The graphics have slightly improved. I noticed that.
Okay.
Ever so slightly. And basically, fuck Donna. He shouldn't have saved anyone. I don't care about like, oh no, don't save the whole town. Just save this No, they all have to die. That's the way this works.
Okay.
I don't like that.
I do like the episode, but I do agree that with the ending, if he had not saved anyone, I would have been like, no, this is legitimately showing her the harsh truth of the fucking world.
Yeah,
Yes.
that would have been a nice second episode for the companion is, okay, you can travel with me and it's going to be fun, but there's also going to be moments where it's definitively not fun. And this is one of those moments.
And also, she is before moderated his kind of dark impulses.
Yeah.
And it'd be interesting if this time you go, no, seriously this time, I'm not being callous. I've got to leave them.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that would have been interesting. Anyway, so my alternate title for this episode is Palaver.
Nice. Nice. Did you notice Karen Gillan?
No.
She's also in this episode.
Yeah, she's also in this.
Right, okay.
So the soothsayer that chases after them initially, the red-haired soothsayer, is Karen Gillan.
Oh, right.
But she's dressed up and under makeup a little bit, so you can get away with that.
Yeah, well, I certainly
You can't get away with Pizza Capaldi, you know?
No.
Anyway, so that's a thumb sideways as well.
Okay, alright.
Planet of the Ood.
The Ood?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a pretty good episode, this one.
Yeah.
I don't have any notes, mainly because I guess I generally liked it.
Yep.
I like the idea of a big hangar in the snow. As you know, I have a fondness for snow-based things.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I just like that idea. I like the story, of the Ood sort of coming into their own.
Yeah. Does
going
this,
rabid.
I don't know if I'm remembering correctly. Does this kind of change what the Ood are slightly? Because prior to this, we've only seen them in The Impossible Planet and the Satan Pit, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, they're totally emancipated in this episode, aren't they? They become their own, civilization almost.
I could be misremembering. I think not the idea, but sort of one of the implications of that two-parter that they were introduced in is that they're sort of willing slaves.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have got that, but what you've got is that they're willing slaves who are then being horrifically mistreated.
In The Impossible Planet?
No, in Planet of the Ood, they're being...
Well, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. This kind of changes it a little bit, where they're willing in the sense that they're very trusting and they're very subservient, but the slavery aspect of the Ood is completely involuntary.
Yeah.
They've sort of been taken advantage of.
Yeah, they don't really know how to do anything else. But yeah, it's like their masters are abusing their privilege, I guess, their power.
Yeah.
It's got Black Man with a Whip.
Yep.
I don't know whether that was a conscious inversion or not.
Right, okay.
Because obviously the metaphor is they're slaves,
yes.
and these guys they're masters,
yeah.
and one of them's got a whip, and it's a black man. I just thought, oh, interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
And I doubt that was an accident.
No.
Let's put it that way.
Maybe not, yeah.
That's sort of it. That's genuinely all I've got to say about Planet of the Ood. I liked it,
Okay. Yeah, I did like the episode. Did you like the transformation? What's his face? What's the guy in this one?
Tim McInnery.
Yeah, his transformation into an Ood. How do you feel about that?
Listen, I like it purely for the sake of the fact of they're telling him the entire time it's hair tonic when he's very clearly not regaining any hair, and he still buys it. Right up until he starts turning into an Ood, still has no idea, and is just quite happily drinking this hair tonic, and actually they're just poisoning him and turning him into an Ood.
Changing
him
into
an
Ood, yeah.
Oh shit!
But you've got this transformation where he sort of pulls his own skin off.
Yeah.
And this sort of Ood sort of emerges underneath. And it's this pretty, by Doctor Who standards, it's a pretty gruesome transformation.
Yeah.
And then he just sort of sneezes out of brain at the end.
Yes.
And it's like, Doctor
Which
Who.
is brilliant. I really liked that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it really. I've got, again, 2 alternate titles. Mm-hmm. One of them is Ood for Thought.
Yeah, we're going with that.
Yeah, but the other one it's a bit more nuanced. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen, because Nobody Knows the Trouble I've Seen is a slave song.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd put Ood into that.
No booty.
No booty, yeah. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Okay. The Sontaran Stratagem. So do you want to give a synopsis for this one?
Oh yeah, we didn't give one for the...
Oh, there's no point. There's no fucking point now. It's just arbitrary. We'll do it from series 5 onwards.
Okay. But this is
specials onwards.
The return of the Sontarans, who are classic Doctor Who villains.
Or for me, the introduction of the Sontarans.
Yes. I suppose so, yes. Yes, how did you find the Sontarans, Sam?
Oh, they're funny, aren't they? They're funny. They're silly, but I like them.
They're noble warriors.
Yeah.
It's a really nice contrast, actually. The fact that they're these, warrior bound. They're all about, honor and fury and the, battle in their hearts, but they're just 3 foot tall. They're tiny and kind of pathetic.
Yeah, it was sort of the right timbre of silly for me. Again, sometimes Doctor Who is kind of ridiculous, but it hits a level with which I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're tiny and they look like that, but they are this, I guess, intimidating force.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah, all right, I suppose. Well, before they demask, they look like Power Rangers villains.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
They really do.
Yeah.
There's a really good line that I like. Words are the weapons of women folk. I really like that line.
Yeah.
That's funny. So at the beginning when they salute the Doctor, he's like, nah, none of that. And then Donna's like, I'll have a salute. Wind your neck, and you horrible woman. Why would they salute you? You haven't fucking done anything yet.
Well, she's a companion of the Doctor. That's probably good enough.
Entitlement.
So, yeah, there's a better companion in the episode.
Yes, there is.
Oh yeah, this is the return of Martha as well.
It is, yeah.
Which was like my young. I don't remember how old I was when this episode aired, but the fact that they brought back an old companion, it's like, you can't do that.
I mean, by this point, you'd already seen Rose Tyler in episode 1.
Yeah, but
yes, we have.
I don't know. It would probably lead to the series will happen and then it'll lead to Rose or something. But the fact that Martha is just in the episode, like,
in the
you
episode,
can't do that.
yeah.
This is Donna's thing.
Yeah. It's at this point I was thinking it was definitely weaker than series 3.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think anyone would begrudge you for saying that.
It was the first time the idea of a double episode wasn't repellent. Usually when I get to the end of an episode and it's clear that it's 2-part, I'm like, I wanted you to wrap up, you know?
Yeah.
But this was the first. I was like, okay, all right, I'll have another one. Yeah, this episode's a thumbs up.
Okay.
My alternate title is Mini Eggs.
Yeah, no, I mean, see, I'm a fan of the Sontaran. I want to write an episode where they come back.
Okay.
Come back as
villains,
you mean?
Yeah.
The lead guy's from the Young Ones, isn't he?
Is he?
Is he?
The lead Sontaran. Yeah, he's one of the guys in the Young Ones.
Which one?
Mike, the cool one.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay, so the Poison Sky, which is the second part.
Yes.
I like that they're just blatantly misogynistic. There's no bones about it. They're like clearly like a masculine class, you know, like a male warrior class.
Yeah.
Because there's a few little lines about like, oh, that was good for a woman or whatever. Ryan Sampson's quite annoying in the episode. Maybe he's meant to be. I don't know.
Is he the American kid?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another case of Doctor Who American accents-itis.
Yeah.
Whatever you call
It's
it.
very American.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
He's a school shooter in waiting, that character. Like if he I'm smarter than you, I'm telling you, I'm cleverer than you. If he hadn't become embroiled with the Sontarans, he would have shot up a school. I'm telling you that right now.
Okay.
So obviously this is when the Sontarans advance and there are big gunfights and everything. So despite their warrior status, right, as we said, the Sontarans are goofy. So when they're being like mowed down, it's a bit disconcerting. When they're just being shot down with a hail of machine gun bullets, like, I thought they were like cute, playful little like generals. I don't know how I feel about that.
Right, okay. That's interesting that you feel that way.
Yeah, I don't like Doctor Who when it gets actiony.
Okay.
Or when it gets too actiony. Like I think is it in this episode he says, if I see one more gun, I swear to God. Or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm kind of with you. I don't want machine guns in Doctor Who. I want other, I want concepts.
Yeah.
I don't want gunfights. I'm like a Buddhist. I want concepts. I don't want gunfights. Imagine all the
There you
people.
go.
Yeah, it's okay. It's an okay episode. I prefer the first part.
Yep.
But it's all right. But then, of course, at the end, he turned out not to be a school shooter. He turned out to be a suicide bomber. I mean, both are nihilistic impulses, sure. But thumbs sideways to that episode.
Okay.
And my alternate title for that is Boiled Eggs.
Not potato?
It's because I had mini eggs, so I had to kind of pay it off. But
You're aware of that, though. I think I don't know if we mentioned before that, like, the colloquial name for the Sontarans are potato heads. They look
I think
like
someone
potatoes.
calls them a potato in the episode.
Yeah,
at some point. Yeah. Right, the Doctor's daughter.
Yes.
So when she's first created and she emerges from the whatever it is, what's up with that guitar music? It's like a it just like surges.
Yeah.
I don't like
because
that.
it's the Doctor's daughter, and it's like, oh my God, you know?
Well, it's now the Doctor's wife.
Yes.
What?
In real
David
life,
Tennant's married
that's
to that
who David
actress.
Tennant's married to.
That David Tennant's married to her?
Yes.
Yeah.
He did all right. Fair play.
That is
I gotta say,
that's Peter Davidson's daughter.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And David Tennant, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've already talked about this.
Okay.
Don't worry.
All right. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, it was weirdly, in the episode that occurred to me, right? God, obviously, she's not his daughter, is she? But she's...
No, I remember feeling
functionally his daughter.
shortchanged when the episode first aired, and it's not literally the Doctor's daughter.
Because he did have a daughter, right? I mean, that is kind of brought up in the episode, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it genuinely occurred to me, because she is very attractive, that when they were acting together, I was like, I wonder if they fucked. That genuinely occurred to me.
Oh, right.
I was like, because she's meant to be his daughter, but I wonder if they got it off, you know?
Yeah.
That's weird.
He married her, so
He married her. Yeah.
they probably did.
Well,
Okay,
they've
fair
got
enough.
kids,
Yeah,
so I'm
well-
going to assume they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's my first note is his daughter's fit.
Oh, it's brilliant.
But yeah, I'm with the Doctor. I'm sick of guns because there's a lot of guns in this episode as well.
Yeah.
I love the utter contempt for pacifism the soldiers have. Like, there's an outbreak of pacifism on this planet once. I like that, an outbreak of pacifism, like it's a disease.
Yeah.
When Martha's fish friend dies and she's sobbing for him, that was a bit no.
Yeah.
Right.
I was just like, would you sob over? You know what I mean? It felt a bit unearned,
The hat.
and also the acting's a bit
hat, yeah.
dodgy as well. Yeah, I don't like combat stories. Like I prefer conceptual ones.
Okay. I like the idea of the generational gap is so short.
Yeah.
The actual length of the war is being completely thrown out of proportion. They think,
I like that.
Yeah, they think this is a war that's been lasting for like generations and generations and and technically it has, but it's only like 8 days they've been fighting or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a really nice idea. I think the episode around it is a bit weak from what I remember.
Yes, it is a bit. I like that idea in the sense of I get it's real world analog, I guess, which I suppose would be fighting and not really knowing the history of it and why you're doing it.
Yes.
And this complete kind of misunderstanding of how long it's been going on, the reasons for it. You know,
Exactly.
I like that. It's quite a good ending. It's a decent-ish ending. I'll tell you what, considering that early on in the episode he says like, I've had a family, that part of me is dead now, I just can't do that anymore. He doesn't have to get over that quickly, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Like enough so that we can have an emotional ending where she's dying.
Yeah.
I like the design of the hat.
Yeah.
I quite like that.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty cool. Thumbs up, I suppose. But yeah, it's not the best episode.
It's not.
Yeah.
I will say it's not a spoiler really. The one thing I will say is that ending where she goes off and travels.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will never see her again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that is surprising.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they've done audiobooks with her.
Okay. Yes.
So I think that's what
Yeah, she
happens
has
with Doctor Who. They have a lot of like moments where it feels like they're setting up like side stories or side adventures with side characters that never come to fruition, and then Big Finish audio will sort of pick up the slack a little bit.
Yes,
but yeah, that feels
say-
like one of the biggest missed opportunities is
given
seeing
how
her
the,
again.
the series ends, I think there was anticipation she was going to show up in that.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my alternate titles for this episode, Green Around the Gills. That's one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my favourite one, Jenny from the Dock.
Jenny from the Dock.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So-
do you know, I really like that.
The Unicorn and the Wasp.
Yes.
Okay, so this led to me coining a term for Sam's Lexicorner.
Do we have a Sam's Lexicorner?
So we have a Sam's
We haven't had
Lexicorner.
one for the last couple of episodes.
We
This
haven't.
is exciting stuff.
Okay, so time for another installment of Sam's Lexicorner.
Samuel. Words. Phrases. Sam's Lexicorner.
Okay, so this is quite difficult to describe, and it might be contained within the realms of sci-fi fantasy television. But for instance, we've alluded to it before in episodes of Doctor Who where they go back to Shakespearean times or back to Dickensian times, and then the events of the episode correspond with the output of the literary figure they're depicting.
Okay.
So if you're going back to an episode of Charles Dickens, the fact there are ghosts on Christmas Eve, or going back to Shakespeare and there are witches, you know, where the character of the author is incorporating the events of the episode into their later works.
Yes.
Right.
Is this exclusive to authors, or could it be any artist?
It could be any artist, it could anything like that, where you see it sometimes in biopics about writers where you're seeing how they got their ideas from the I'm calling that so for instance in this episode, I'm going to blue ball you a bit further.
No.
In this episode, it's an Agatha Christie set one, so it's a murder mystery in which Agatha Christie is a character.
Yes.
And the fact that her writing is similar to the plot of the episode is actually meta incorporated into the concept of the episode.
Okay.
So I'm going to call that the troposphere.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So not the troposphere, the troposphere.
Troposphere. So how would you use that in a sentence? Would you say, oh, this episode has tropospheric writing?
So this occupies the Agatha Christie troposphere.
Okay.
Or the Shakespeare. Yeah, but you could use it like that as well, obviously.
Okay. All right.
Troposphere.
Samuel. Words. Phrases. Sam's Lexicorner.
Hang on, let me eat a minstrel. I've been staring into the bag. Lusting over minstrels.
Okay, we good?
Okay.
Okay, so they draw attention to it, obviously, in this episode, to the troposphere. Except it's part of the plot, the fact that her writing is kind of fused magically with, like, the DNA. I can't exactly remember the mechanics.
Is the
of it.
monster imprinting itself on an Agatha Christie book? Was that the idea?
So someone is reading an Agatha Christie book when she, like, psychically connects with someone else, and so the kind of form of the book she's reading is imprinted onto this consciousness.
I see. Okay.
And so the events of the episode kind of spiral out. Yeah, it's a weird... And I guess I kind of like where it's coming from, but it did feel a bit too... They were doing a lot of work to root the genre in a sci-fi context.
Okay.
And I don't think there was any need for that level of contrivance. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
We could have just had, it's an Agatha Christie episode, where the events of the episode reflect the events of her book.
They've already done that with Shakespeare, though, haven't they? So I don't know whether this was like...
I guess, yeah.
Like forced escalation. Like, we have to one-up ourselves. We have to actually make it part of the story.
I guess, yeah. But it felt like them trying to justify it when it was like, you didn't need to. Like, it's Doctor Who, I could have lived with, it just happens that she's involved in a murder mystery. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would almost have made sense. I mean, I would say I do like the episode, but it would have almost made sense if, like, one of the reasons why she did her writing is that it just so happens that in her actual life, she ends up involved. Like, if that
Yes, but obviously they're trying to... The fundamental core around which the episode orbits is the fact that Agatha Christie vanished.
Yes.
And they're trying to answer that question. Problem is, by that point, she'd already written a bunch of books. And so they couldn't kind of root it in a Genesis kind of myth. There's a charade sequence. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah.
They got to bin the silliness.
Oh, I like that.
They've got to bin the silliness.
No, I like
It's
that
just
scene.
Enough of it. I'm just I don't like that.
It's like one of the very few things of that episode I like is that charade sequence.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just like the when she says Harvey Wallbanger. I just like the reaction from the Doctor.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell is, like, why did you go there? You know.
I recently happened to, because I've been rewatching Screen Wipe, and one of the episodes he talks about Doctor Who, but I think it was going from series 2 to series 3.
Okay.
And he was saying, I really like it, but here's what they've got to change as far as he was concerned.
Yeah.
And one of them was that you got to bin, and they used the example of him pretending to be the Ghostbuster, like doing the little dance stuff thing.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to bin the campy stuff, you know what I mean?
I wouldn't say bin it outright, but yeah, it shouldn't be used as a crutch. I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's being used as a crutch, but the moments where it's sort of like, oh, we have like a couple of minutes, let's be silly. It's like, no, we don't need this.
Yeah.
Or this doesn't feel like we could do better than this, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, the series is definitely significantly less vital. It feels less vital than the last one.
Interesting. Well, yeah, it's interesting because this is... I know that we got a couple of specials to watch, but this is technically the finale of the Russell T Davies era, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a shame, really.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I like murder mysteries. I like Knives Out. I like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it had that going for it for me. And it is quite clever. It's quite cleverly written. So I give it a thumbs up, but it's kind of a qualified thumbs up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the thing that bugged me most about it was, so they kind of answer the mystery of her disappearance, which in real life, it seems pretty straightforward, incidentally. It's not like Amelia Earhart or something. It's like, we know she got cheated on and went a bit potty.
Yeah.
Like, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Which is fine, like, she gets her memory erased, like that, okay, fine, then she disappears. But then they backtrack to suggest that details still slip through, like with Death on the Clouds involving a wasp and everything. It's like, you can't do that. You can't say this is why she disappeared, but then also say, but still, it manifested in her work. I didn't like that.
All right.
It felt a bit, yeah.
No, that's fair enough.
So I got two alternate titles for this one. One of them is Wasps, which is, obviously, you've got the Wasps, but then Wasps is white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. And, they're wasps, darling, rich people. Yeah. Or more, what's the right word here? Elementarily, I suppose. Hoodoo.
Right, okay.
Okay, so Silence in the Library. Yeah, so we're back to Moffat.
Yes.
So he did Blink. What else did he do?
The Empty Child and the Doctor Dances and The Girl in the Fireplace. He did one every series, basically.
Yeah, he's good, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah, he's at doing those single episodes, he's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, this is my minute-by-minute accounting of the experience of that episode. So as things are being explained, these notes make less sense, but nevertheless.
Okay.
So first is obviously this little girl, and she's got like a mind palace, but it's a mind library. It's got, if she's good at this lucid dreaming, she's going to be a nightmare in her teens and 20s. She's not going to leave her room.
No.
I've got, there's yawn rape, then there's dream rape. The Doctor and Donna dream rape that child.
Okay.
Okay, but that's...
There you go again, Sam, ruining the magic.
That's in jest. A library planet, I like it.
Okay.
I like the idea of a library planet. I think that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
I want to be on that planet.
Okay.
What the fuck's up with those nodes?
Yeah.
Oh, the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
attached
rock
to them.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it get explained? It does get explained, right?
Oh yeah, we know like what they are, but you know they look like those things you get on the beach where you put your face through the cardboard.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit wacky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't Moffat? He seems obsessed with traumatizing children. Because you've got the girl in the fireplace is pretty out there, but then you've got the empty child, which obviously is our children.
Yeah.
It is children. Then you've got you should be afraid of statues. This one is you should be afraid of the dark.
Yes.
That's what this one says. I quite like his obsession with tormenting the young.
Right.
I like that. I get it. I get the budget considerations and all, but when it became constrained to the single room, it started losing me a little bit.
Okay.
It's like I want them out in the library, out
Yeah,
in this
yeah,
world. And they've got this seeding hope that Donna will die, but I suspect she won't.
Right. Okay.
But obviously that pays off at the end of the season.
yeah.
Moffat definitely seems to be into more like insidious creeping threats, which I quite like.
Yeah.
Of like it's the shadows, and all of a sudden there's another shadow. I like that.
Yeah. Like I said,
Uncanny
his when he's like working to his best, like he's really good with villain ideas.
Yeah.
Not
Yes.
just a design for a villain or like a concept for a villain, but sort of how the villain operates as well. He's also very good at that. Like the fact that the Weeping Angels, the fact they become statues is a defense mechanism so they can't be killed.
Yeah.
And like the sort of like what the Vashta Nevada, what are they called?
Vashta Nerada.
Nerada.
I think.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, how they operate and all that sort of stuff. He's very good at that. Very, very good at that.
Yeah. Obviously, I was also okay with this being a two-parter.
Yep.
I didn't think it would be because it's Moffat. It's just going to be one great episode, but obviously it was a two-parter. Obviously, thumbs up.
Yeah.
My alternate titles for this one are Shadowbound, and that's clever because books are bound, so that's one.
Thank you for explaining why it was clever, Sam.
Yeah, it's all right. But then my favourite one, Shadows. Okay, so then Forest of the Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, his episodes seem to be... He really likes playing around with time, doesn't he? And placement therein.
Yes.
That's what I really like about his episodes, is that they really explore time, Not just, they go to a different point in time, but things pay off later in the episode, and there's a circularity to
Yeah,
them,
the time
and-
travel isn't just a tool to get them to the location of the story. It's part of the narrative.
Yes.
Yeah, in a show like Doctor Who, that's one of the fact that you can use the premise of the show like that, again, is one of his
Yeah.
strengths.
We'll say you've introduced River Song now, and I do really like the fact that they know each other, but they meet in the wrong...
I think that's
Yeah.
brilliant. It's sort of like...
Stuff like that.
In, I think it was Star Trek Discovery, wasn't it? There's like a shot in the first episode where two ships meet each other, but they're not like on the same plane.
Right.
Like one of them is sort of like upside down and sort of at a different angle. It's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, if you're in space, ships would never be flat against each other. And like if you're in a universe with another time traveler, you would never meet each other in like linear order, would you?
Yeah.
You would meet each other out of order. So that's a really nice idea.
Yeah. He's really good at paying things off. I like the idea of spores in books. I think that's a really cool idea. Like you get it from trees and then they're in the books. I think I like that a lot. There's one line that, and this is possibly kind of a tacit self-aggrandizement, but there's one line that really hit home, and that was when the woman says to Donna, "I have the two qualities you need to see absolute truth. I am brilliant and unloved." Oh, that's good. I like that a lot. That's really good. It lacks the kind of the cleanness of Blink, but it's still like solidly ambitious, respectable.
Is that just the
effort.
virtue of the fact that it's a two-parter rather than a single contained entity?
Partly, but it's not messy, but it's a bit messy. Like when Blink starts paying off, everything's very oh yes, and it just everything follows on.
Yeah.
This is a bit more muddled,
Okay.
but not really, you know, not massively.
Yeah.
It's not as good as Blink, but nothing is yet.
In the Russell T Davies era, because that's all we're talking about at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, in this era of the show, Blink is his magnum opus, definitely.
Yes, yeah, 100%. I don't know if this was deliberate, but there's obviously it's robots, and there's a Cal, as in like a Hal and a Dave. I don't know whether that was deliberate or not.
Maybe, yeah. I would believe that that's deliberate.
Yeah, like I said, great payoff. It's the best of the season, I would say.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Because the next episode, I think, would probably be considered by a lot of people to be the best episode of the season.
Would it?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, well, we'll get to that in a sec.
Okay.
Yeah, thumbs up, obviously. So, I've got loads of alternate titles for this one. I found this one really difficult to come up with a good alternate title for.
Okay.
So, just because the first one was called, the idea was Shadowbound, I've got Moonbound here, because obviously Dr. Moon is the guy.
Yes.
But I don't like that. So, I've got a series of river puns, okay?
Okay.
So, bear with me. So, I've got River in the Forest.
Yeah.
That's the first one. I've got River Phoenix, right?
Okay.
I've got Daimia River. I've got Wi-Fi Mia River. But then my favourite one by far, The Matrix Revolutions.
The Matrix Revolution.
That's my favourite one.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Okay.
Okay, so Midnight.
Yes.
Bottle episode, obviously.
Donna Light episode. No Donna to be
Donna
seen.
Light, that's always good. I like the idea of it. Again, it's more of a creeping threat, isn't it? Of something that overtaking your language.
Yeah,
I like
you
that.
could be forgiven for thinking that this was a Moffat idea in a way,
Yeah,
couldn't you?
yeah, definitely.
Really
It was one of those episodes. Halfway through, it was feeling a bit disposable to me. Of like, oh, I get it, a bottle episode. They're cutting costs. It's a decent idea, but like, it's not going to be remembered. You know.
Okay.
It got better the more it went on.
Yeah.
The Doctor is too quick to pacifism sometimes.
Right.
He's too quick to say, no, we can't do anything. It's like, no, yeah, fuck her off. Get her out the ship as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, it's good. I mean, I think the reason maybe that it sticks with a lot of people is the ending. And I like the ending a lot. And I mean the very ending now. When he's talking with Donna and then she repeats him and he's like, hey, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't. And he seems genuinely traumatized by it, you know? I like that a lot. Like, again, I said I'm not a fan of when the Doctor gets particularly serious, but I like that moment.
And I love as well that even to this day, we know nothing about the Midnight Entity. We don't know what it is. We don't know what it looks like. We know literally nothing about it.
I've got that. I like that it's unresolved. It's totally unresolved.
Yeah.
It's there. It's gone. They never have any explanation for it. Yeah, that's great. That's sort of all I got to say, really. It's a very good episode. I guess I prefer its precedent just because of its ambition. It feels like it's a big story, you know, that executed really well. And I like this a lot. For me, it wasn't as good as Forest of the Dead.
Yeah. I think it stands out, though, because it is such a small episode. Like, compared to the action-heavy two-parter of, like, the Sontaran episodes, and the fact that you said that, like, the previous story feels quite grand in scale. And now we just have this tiny little character piece, almost.
Yeah.
I was going to say, what do you think of David Tennant's performance in this episode? Do you feel like it was any better than the stuff around it?
I can't say it stood out to me.
Okay.
I mean, one of the things with Tennant's performance in general is he's just there for me. And that's a completely neutral comment. He's obviously not bad.
Yeah.
But he's so, like, just in the role at this point. I don't really notice him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say that it particularly stood out for me. But yeah, I guess it's good.
Okay.
You know?
I don't know if it's any better myself. I just wonder if it's because there's such a focus on it this episode. Because it is, like, it's all in the performances. What's the name of the woman? The one who gets infected?
What's her real name? I don't know. She's in the Full Monty.
Okay.
She's a good northern actress. But yeah, I can't remember her name at the moment.
Well, I mean, everyone is good in that episode, but it's her and David Tennant, isn't it? They're carrying that episode.
Yeah. My alternate title for that is Paranoia.
Okay.
It's a weaker one, but there's not much
this
to
might
go
be
on this
one
one.
of the few instances where I would want to stick with the original title.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, at some points I'm doing it for the sake of it, not necessarily because they're better than the actual titles.
Okay.
You know? But yeah, I mean, this episode is about paranoia. That's what it's about.
Oh, yeah.
The Midnight concept aside, it's clearly just about people turning on each other, you know?
Yes, and it does that well. I don't remember there being any instance where it feels like, oh, at this point, this character would feel this, so let's jump to that moment. It does feel natural the way that characters get to where they get to.
It does unfold organically, definitely.
Yeah, and you know that if this was done more recently, that episode probably would have been one take as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Turn left.
Now, last one had no Donna. This one has no Doctor.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that, Sam?
Well, I'm assuming this is also a well-regarded episode.
Do you know what? I genuinely don't know.
It's
Okay.
got Billy Piper in it, probably.
Well, also it's pretty out there, you know, and it is, again, it's jumping with. I gotta say, I feel sorry for Donna in one respect. She keeps having these like entire lives that aren't real. It's like in the library episode, she ends up like having these kids and everything. It's like, you know, none of this is real, right?
Yeah.
She keeps having these fucking like. Anyway, so at the beginning, they are in what looks like China. It's obviously not. It's another planet.
Yeah.
But at first I thought they were in China. And then when she's talking to the fortune teller, she says, "Oh, I'm from a planet called Earth." I was like, "Whoa." Like racist. When they're at when she is thrust into her alternate reality, when she's at like that office party or whatever, and they all rush outside. It's a Christmas star, and they all run outside to see her. I was like, "How old are you?
Yeah.
You're fully grown adults. You're not gonna like sprint outside to see a star."
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, fuck off! It's cold." I'm gonna have another beer or
with my
whatever.
Jägermeister.
The alcoholics of this country would not just go outside for a star unless they were all going out for a collective fag.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the idea of a Dr. Light episode, but not when the fucking companion is Donna.
Right.
Because it's just that delivery she does. Like, I've got here Beatrice. I guess that was the highlight for me. Beatrice! You know, that stupid fucking face that she pulls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't abide Donna.
Okay.
I don't know if this is deliberate. Is it a Threads reference in this episode?
A what reference?
Okay, so there's a film from the 80s, a TV film called Threads, right? And it was broadcast at the height of the Cold War. And it's become infamous because it traumatized loads of kids who saw it. Because it basically depicted what would happen if a nuclear bomb went off in England.
Right, okay.
And it's like quite an infamous TV movie that was shown once and like never shown again.
Okay.
And there's a famous image of a mushroom cloud in the distance. And it's horrible. Like even now, like people seeing it going, they've done it. They've actually gone and fucking done it. And like a woman like pissing herself, and then you see like things just completely being destroyed in fire, and it's like horrible. And I know it's a mushroom cloud is a mushroom cloud, but the particular way it's framed and looks exactly like the mushroom cloud from Threads.
Okay.
So I don't know whether that was a reference or not.
It could be. It could very well be.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's just like... I feel like you could arrive at that image without knowing that Threads exists.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. It's a bit of a tenuous connection. The only argument would be like Threads. It's not that it's fairly obscure, but it's one of those things that people in TV all seem to know about it. You know, like
Yeah.
It's this thing they saw as a kid.
Okay. It's a nice
so I thought
connection,
maybe.
if it is a real connection.
Yeah, because obviously it presents like a sort of dystopian image as well, doesn't it? Which Threads obviously.
Yes. Yeah, this is a world without the Doctor, and the world just falls to ruin, basically. Like every Earth story that's happened since the Runaway Brides, the villains win. So Earth just gets worse and worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, absolutely. She calls the Italian dude Mussolini. Would that be acceptable now, do you think?
I don't know. If he's Italian, then maybe.
Yeah.
Can you not be racist to an Italian? Is that because there are certain ones you can and you can't?
I guess. Well, they're olive skinned, aren't they? So they're sort of not white.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Okay. Something needs to be explained to me about the TARDIS.
Okay.
Does it take him where he's needed? Is that the idea of the TARDIS?
Yes.
Because, right, all the threats to Earth that manifest in the episode, you know, that he didn't stop. Did he end up at those locations in time incidentally, or was he taken there because he was needed? Because it's a hell of a coincidence if he just happened to be in all these locations.
Yeah, I think the going theory is that the TARDIS takes him where he needs to go.
Okay, then I can live with it. Because what are the threats that are manifest in this episode that he didn't stop?
Well, there's the oh god.
Well, the Christmas star, the web star.
Yeah, the Rachnos. Yeah. Well, no, because that happens. The only difference there is the Donna doesn't stop. The
oh
Doctor,
yes,
so the Doctor
sorry,
dies.
yeah, so he dies. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah.
After that, is it Voyage of the Damned next?
Yes, the Titanic crashes into Buckingham Palace.
Yeah. Then it's
You get the adipose.
The adipose.
Yeah.
Then it's the Suntarans.
Yeah.
I think that's it, right?
Okay. Yeah, so it would be a bit of a damn coincidence, wouldn't it, if he just had like the three threats that would have fucked things up royally for Earth.
Yeah.
He happened to, but if he's taken where he's needed, all right, like I can live with that.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so you talked earlier about the idea of Donna and the function of the companion in relation to the Doctor.
Yeah.
And I quite like that what this episode is sort of saying is that what the companions offer is that they moderate the Doctor's worst impulses, and in doing so, they're saving his life.
Yes.
That's why they need it. I like that. I was like, oh, right, okay, I now see your value. You know?
Okay. Is that a thing for all the companions, or is that just something that Donna offers?
The argument could definitely be made that that's what Donna offers, but it feels like, oh yeah, I guess that's what the companions do, is that they restrain him, right? They bring humanity to when he's lacking a bit of it, they offer an extra dose.
Yeah, that's definitely something they do. I think the other thing they definitely do as well, which I've already alluded to, is that the Doctor will save people's lives, but the companions will make sure that the people are okay, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Like, they kind of offer that human empathy in the moments that the Doctor just can't.
Yeah,
you know?
and I like that it's not just they're kind of a voice of mediation for the audience's sake almost. I like that they're saying it's vital, because if they don't do that, he'll die, which is basically what this episode is saying.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the internment camps and all that sort of thing, if a bit.
Yeah, I'm surprised how dark it goes. Like, they basically just bring back concentration camps.
Which obviously is a bit out there, but hey, it's a dystopian idea, I get it. But I don't like that they actually have Bernard Cribbin saying, it's happening again. He actually says it's happening again.
Yeah.
I thought that was a bit on the nose.
Oh, how do we feel? We haven't mentioned him at all. How do we feel about Bernard Cribbins?
He's alright, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's fine. He doesn't really...
I like Bernard Cribbins.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
He's alright.
I like his little, it's them aliens again, like his whole, shtick, you know?
And I like, he's like, go on, love, because that, to be fair, that is what grandparents do. The idea of being a grandparent is that your parent disciplines you, but your grandparent isn't in for all that shit. They discipline their children. Now they're going to spoil you.
Yes.
And corrupt you and let you do whatever the fuck you want.
I think that really works.
So I like that her mother is like...
Because I think originally Donna's father was supposed to occupy that role.
Right.
But the actor who played him didn't finish filming, because I think he died.
Okay.
So Bernard Cribbins was never originally going to be Donna's grandfather, but they sort of retrofitted it.
Yeah.
And I think that really works.
Yeah, I like that. Makes sense to me. He's like, go on, love. Yeah, fuck off the end. Don't listen to your mother.
Yeah.
I like that.
Russell T Davies doesn't like mothers, does he?
No,
he definitely has a problem. I mean, Jackie Tyler, he has a fondness for, clearly, but...
Yeah, but like Martha's mother, didn't he?
Is a sour-faced bitch.
Exactly, yeah. But you could write that off as like, oh, you still need someone who's kind of opposed to the Doctor. But when it's like all three major companions, all of their mothers hate the Doctor, it is a bit like, all right, what's happened there, Russell? What's going on?
Yeah. And none with parents that are together either.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm sorry, I really don't like Catherine Tate. The moment where she's sobbing, where she has to go back and all, I was like, it was bad acting, frankly.
Right.
When she's pleading with Rose, it's just not well acted.
Rose has had some work done, hasn't she?
Yeah, she has.
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah.
It's really distracting.
Yeah. It's a pretty good title. I quite like the title Turn Left, but obviously I come up with alternatives anyway. My two alternates are Misfortune and Donologue. My two.
Okay. All right. I do like the episode. I think I like the idea more than the execution. It's another one of those.
Yeah.
It's a great idea of doing a companion light episode where it's kind of like an alternate, what if the Doctor never
Light.
Yes.
Yeah.
Companion heavy, I meant to say.
Yes.
Where the Doctor's dead and it's showing like the world if he was never there to save it and all that sort of stuff. Like, people who we've met up until this point are just dying left, right, and center. Like, Martha dies, Torchwood dies, like, all these different people are just dead. The monster's pretty shit. It's basically just a giant rubber dung beetle stuck on her back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a giant cockroach.
But that's another really cool idea. The fact that there's something that sort of latched itself onto you that other people, no one can see it, but they can sort of sense that something's there.
I guess, I don't know. I guess I never really thought of that, of it being a monster. It felt more like the premise is the monster,
That's fine. But I feel like you could have done a better creature design than just like a bug.
Yeah.
Especially since at the end, the Doctor's kind of analysing it and he says like, oh, it's a member of the trickster gang. Implying that this creature has like enough sentience and intelligence to be part of a gang. It's not just a mindless creature that eats time.
Well, also it would presume, being a random species, more random, would presumably have a completely... It's entirely alien fauna, so its physiology would be totally different.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel like fauna. It feels like fauna during the episode, but then at the end, the Doctor says, like, oh, it's part of the Trickster gang. That feels like it's elevating it above fauna, but the design is pure fauna.
Yeah.
That's kind of my one major gripe with the episode, is just the creature. If it was like a genuinely, like, uncomfortable or sort of disturbing design that creature had, I think the episode quality would go way up.
I guess is the idea, because people are seeing it, aren't they? Sort of peripherally almost.
Well, they're not seeing it. They're just kind of sensing that there's something on her back. They don't know what it is. That's what's scary about it.
Doesn't someone say, though, you got like a bug on your back or something?
I don't think they say bug.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, thumbs up, you know.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. So, the Stolen Earth.
Yes.
Fuck off, Rose. That's my first note.
Rose is coming back. Isn't that a good thing?
No.
Okay.
You know how I feel about Rose. They got Richard Dawkins in.
They did.
They pulled him in for a little cameo. Like, all right, okay. I like his... I think it would have been more interesting if they'd had him on to be wrong. But that he accurately says what it is. Like, no, we have moved to them. They haven't moved to us. It's like,
right.
No, have him be wrong. I like the idea of getting in an expert who's wrong, you know?
Okay.
I like, though, obviously the planet Earth moves to be adjacent to these 27 other planets.
Yeah.
And then news like, you know, the UN is urging people to remain calm and don't panic. Are you having a laugh? This isn't like a virus or anything else. Like, there are now 27 planets in the atmosphere, basically.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't don't panic. But then there's Ponty. Ponty's in it.
Yeah, Ponty's in it, yeah.
Is this the only episode they filmed in Ponty?
No, they've done loads in Ponty.
Okay. First time I've noticed, anyway.
Yeah, okay.
PC Wales. They're going to PC Wales, right?
the computer shop where I get my computer fixed is featured in there. I'm like, there you are. Hello.
Yeah. Have you been there, Eddie? It's like up by the market, basically. It's where when people are looting and Rose... Yeah, that shop is where we get our computer fixed.
Yeah. There's a cafe opposite called the Crazy Croissant that's featured in the episode as well.
Yeah.
You see it in the background.
Anyway, I know that obviously there are specials following this, but it does make sense to wrap up Tennant's tenure by kind of involving everyone in like a victory lap.
Yeah, this is definitely the big finale. It's better to think of this as like the big finale, and then the subsequent specials are just kind of the epilogue of his era. Yeah,
it's definitely a greatest hits episode.
Yeah, yep. Which is both what's good and what's bad about it, I think.
Yeah,
because it does reach a point where it is literally just, oh, such and such is back. Oh, such and such is back.
Well, I'll quickly jump forward to a note from the next episode, and that he says at the beginning, we're not doing the nostalgia tour. Like, yeah, you are. Yeah. That's exactly what you're doing.
But I don't know whether that's supposed to end. That's supposed to be a statement of like, right, we're done with the nostalgia. Now the episode's going to happen.
I guess. I don't know.
Because everyone's been introduced by that point, I think. Even Davros has been introduced.
I think so. Yeah. So throughout the season, the recurring idea motif has been bees disappearing, right?
Yes.
That's been like I can't say it was this is what I thought it was. It's called colony collapse disorder. It's a thing. I weirdly read up on it recently for some reason.
Okay.
But yeah, I suspected that this was the reason, or like something like this. Do you know what I mean?
The Daleks were coming back.
No, but like the Earth was under imminent threat because all the bees are fucking off. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Not the Daleks specifically. I like it when they're out on the street and the guy goes, "Get back in the sky," and throws something at the Dalek. That's funny. Get back where you came from, you tin fuck.
Yeah.
I like that. There was a moment where just a line from Shaun the Dead was resonating in my head. And even though I wanted Harriet Jones to die, the moment where the Dalek aims his gun at her, I just aired was, "Don't point that gun at Barbara!" That's all I could think in my head.
How did you like the conclusion, I suppose, to the running gag of, "Yes, we know who you are." Like the final character to say that was a Dalek. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's fine. Eddie, you're not a fan of her, are you?
No.
You don't like Harriet Jones? No. So yeah, I guess I'm glad she was there. I gotta say though, I mentioned the thing about the UN saying don't panic.
Yeah.
I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to kind of integrate it into, what if this really happened? How would pop culture respond?
Yes.
And so you have the interview with Dawkins, and then you have Paul O'Grady going, "You seen these planets they got in the sky?" And it's like, you wouldn't be quipping about it, mate.
No.
You wouldn't be, there wouldn't be late night talk show.
Also, it's bloody quick, isn't it? Like, they must have been filming the episode as it happens. As they changed. And he's like, "Oh, I'll do a bit on this now."
They're seeing these things in the sky. Like, mate, this isn't, everything would be cancelled.
Yeah.
Like, nothing.
Yeah.
Obviously, I haven't watched Torchwood.
Or the Sarah Jane Adventures, I assume.
No. You know Gwen? Gwen, right?
Yeah.
When she's firing at the Dalek, it's like, calm down, love. Like, that was just real overacting. It's like, ah!
Yeah.
Just machine gunning at the Dalek. When Rose and the Doctor reunite, they actually ran at each other across the street. I didn't like that.
But they never reach each other.
That's true.
mine got
He does get
shot.
zapped.
Yeah.
I guess it's a thumbs up, but I didn't love the episode.
How do you like Insane Dalek Khan?
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, I like Insane
That's
Dalek.
all right.
I don't particularly like the episode because I think it's too much.
It is too much.
That's like my gripe.
Yeah.
It is,
And
yeah,
It
it is a
does.
lot.
It gets to the point where it does wind me up because there's a line that Jack says when they hear the Daleks, and he just turns around and he goes, "I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. We're dead." And I'm like, Doctor gets out of these things generally speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So my alternate titles for this episode: Unearthed. That's one.
Okay.
But the one I'm going to go with is elliptic. An elliptic is the shape of the Earth. It also means something confusing and unexplained. So, and I'll pay that off with the title for the second one as well.
Okay. All right. Jaduna back. That's always good.
Yeah, the Jaduna back.
The Doctor he speaks Jadoon.
He does. Yeah.
How did you like him speaking Jadoon?
I didn't. I had no opinion one way or the other.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Okay, so Journey's End.
Journey's End.
Davros is very Emperor Palpatine, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
Including like electricity like coming out of his fingers.
And just how like hammy he gets.
Oh yeah.
Like he just starts fucking screaming whenever he's like talking about his plan and stuff.
Yeah. Why did it have to be fucking Donna that saved the day?
Because
Why?
Because
Why?
she's the companion.
But she's so cocky when it's just so cringy. It's horrible. The big payoff. It's I didn't like it at all. I like the events of it, and it's quite clever. But the way it's executed is
Right.
when it's like her, like, oh, I'm like half a Doctor. I can do this. I can just like fuck off. Like, who are you?
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
Okay.
Is Captain Jack just sex?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. Because everything is just an opportunity for flirtation.
Yep.
Yeah, didn't like that.
Well, that's I don't know. That's his
That is
character. I don't know what else
that's
to
him
say
in
about
general.
that.
I guess, yeah. It's okay, the episode, but like I said, I'm not a fan of the action-heavy episodes. It's a bit of a cop-out that Rose gets her own Doctor.
Okay.
I didn't like that. Because he's the same in every way, except he's committed genocide. That's the difference.
No, he's human, right? That's the idea.
Oh,
he's
okay,
half
and he's
human.
human. He's half human or whatever it is.
Yeah, so they will live the rest of their natural lives together. Rose and this alternate Doctor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, just tell me, take me through like at the end of the Stolen Earth when David Tennant begins regenerating.
Yeah.
What did you feel or think in that moment?
Well, I didn't really think anything, just because I knew obviously he wasn't going to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, nothing. I was like, oh, I wonder how they're going to get out of this.
Okay.
But yeah.
Because obviously I saw it
Nothing
when it, as Eddie did as well, I imagine. I saw it when this first aired. And in the week that followed, everywhere, people were like, what the hell's going to happen? Like, is David Tennant genuinely gone? You know, all that sort of stuff.
Obviously, I've got the advantage or disadvantage of knowing certain things.
Yeah.
So I obviously knew that he was going to be back.
Yeah. Because I think we knew going into Series 4 this was going to be his last one. Right,
Well,
Eddie?
yeah, we knew it was going to be the last series. But also, the specials had been talked about. So when he started regenerating, it was like, well, hang on a sec. If he's regenerating, who the fuck's doing the specials?
Yeah.
Because that's what they've talked about.
Yeah. Like I said, I get it. I get the bringing back everyone, big action set piece, but I completely understand. But I'm not really a fan of those episodes. I like the smaller, idea-driven.
Yes. Yeah, I would agree with
episodes.
you there, definitely.
It's a thumbs up, but it's a conditional one, you know? It was okay.
Okay. So Series 4 seemed to improve in quality towards the end to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's broadly a thumbs up, but, well, like a thumb up and then a tilted thumb.
Okay.
I would say. It's not as good as Series 3.
No.
It's better than Series 2. I don't know where it stands in relation to Series 1, just because I've watched a lot now. I can't even think of Series 1 episodes. But yeah, no, it's all right, you know? It's good. It's decent. My alternate titles for this episode are The Crucible and then Ellipsis. And right, so Elliptic, the previous episode, is Shape of the Earth and, like I said, something mysterious.
Yeah.
Ellipsis, obviously ellipsis means what's going to happen next.
Yes.
There's that. But also, ellipsis is what you use in language to denote gaps in speech,
Yeah.
right? So like you're filling in a gap with an ellipsis.
Yeah.
And obviously Donna's memory gets erased. So that would
okay.
be the
All right.
yeah. So elliptic ellipsis. Or failing that, I would call part 1 reunion, because obviously everyone comes back together.
Yeah.
And then part 2 homecoming.
Right.
And
Okay.
obviously they are synonyms.
Yeah.
But on balance, I'll go with elliptic ellipsis, I think.
Okay.
So yeah, season 4, broadly a thumbs up with a bit of an angle to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Fair.
So next we're on to the specials.
Yeah.
We are, yes. I guess we'll talk about Rusty Davis as a whole when we're done with the specials. I feel like,
Yeah.
even though this is sort of the finale of his era, I feel like we should wait until after the specials to sort of talk about him as a whole and this kind of like
Are they
era
all
of the
written
show
by
as a whole.
him?
I think
Yes,
they are.
they are.
Yeah. He might have co-written one or two.
He's definitely the writer for all of them.
Yeah.
A writer for all of them, yeah.
Yes, he is.
Fair.
Right.
So what was your we'll do the quick little like, what was your favorite blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. So what was your favorite episode of this season?
Forest of the Dead.
Okay. Forest of the Dead on its own or Silence
Yeah.
in the Library as well?
Or just as a single episode, Forest of the Dead.
Okay. Donna is not your favorite companion?
No,
Is she your
Martha
least
is
favourite
my favorite companion. She is my least favorite companion, yes.
Okay. Obviously I imagine Christopher Eccleston hasn't changed.
No,
And series 3 hasn't changed.
no.
Okay. All right. But you're still with Doctor Who at the moment. You're not giving up on it yet.
No, well, I'm not going to give up on it now.
I know,
Just
but
out of
we haven't
tedious
reached the point
commitment.
where it's like I'm literally just because we're doing it for the sake of doing it. now.
No. It was a bit burdensome this time because I had to watch them all in 4 days.
Right.
Or 5 days, however long it was. That was a bit rough. But yeah, we got a week now, so I'll parcel them out accordingly.
Well, a week for
But it's
5
only like
episodes,
4
essentially.
yeah, 5
You can do one a
episodes,
day
yeah,
and
yeah.
you'll be fine,
Yeah. Right, guess we'll see you on the next
Yep.
episode then.
Okay.
Ciao, ciao.
All right.
All right. Take it away.
Disconnected so alone, yeah. Self-attached from all you know. Isolation, yeah. Brings you to the end until you love again. Oh, isolation. If you could only see what will come.